This is going to be the opening to the podcast from now on.
We're in the Endgame now, Joe.
It's in the Endgame?
Yeah.
Is this the one? Is this the one?
If I tell you, you won't eat that sausage. Eat the sausage, Joe.
This really just turned into a porno.
So Joe is about to eat a sausage that has some of the Hot Ones Last Dab Carolina Reaper Special Edition sauce on it. And then we're going to do a podcast afterwards. Or it's going to continue.
With me dying.
You probably should have gotten milk or something like that too.
I ain't no punk ass bitch. Well,
that's what his duty water's for.
Oh. The shit talking now. So welcome to this unnamed podcast that's still unnamed. This
Earth X.
Northstar Otaku's podcast. I am Ungrateful Ninja. This is Obscura with me.
You.
And this is Joe, who is still currently chewing on that sausage.
BBJ. And side note, that's actually a really tasty sauce right there. That's
is it really?
Really good taste.
I'm waiting for it to kick you.
I'm
waiting for it to just it's just gonna fuck your day up.
This was actually... It was
when them runs hit him, it ain't gonna be a game no more.
Bruh, he gonna be pooping yo.
Come on.
So, we can finally talk about Endgame because somebody finally saw it.
I know, right? Damn, Carl, took you long enough.
I know, right? Yeah, I had to drag Joe to the theater and be like, hey, watch it. Strapped him in just to those things with the things that keep your eyes open. Just made him watch Endgame. Watch every second of it.
No, it's actually still hot, as in the heat from the sausage.
Oh, yeah?
No.
So you're actually physically burning your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's great.
It's the after effect of the paste.
Sponsored by Northstar Otaku. Watch our videos. Go to Northstar Otaku on YouTube or on Twitter or possibly Instagram too. And then if you also want to see Obscura doing stuff on stream, you can go to Henshin Hero X.
Yeah.
On Twitch. Or you can go to Northstar Otaku 11, which is where the main page is, but it's also just me doing stuff mostly.
Got a question for you.
Question for me?
When's the last time you put something up on Twitter?
2-3 days ago.
Okay. Because I haven't noticed. That's why I was like, wait, you said Twitter. I'm like, he hasn't put nothing up in 5 months.
God damn, 5 months.
It's his other Twitter account where he had that Russian chick over there.
Oh, Russian?
Yeah.
Even before this past week when I put stuff up a month ago.
What about Instagram?
Instagram is new, because I just made it, so there's nothing really up yet. So.
Meanwhile, I'm just here on Facebook. I'm just here on Facebook.
Well, we could put progress pictures of untimely death transformation into Thor. You've been hitting the gym and stuff.
Is that what your name is going to be now?
Well, it is my name on Xbox and all that. So.
You sure you want everybody to know that?
What are you going to try to do? Challenge me in Soul Calibur or Naruto? Come run my face.
Body.
Y'all not ready for this, all right? Rasengan to the face.
Because this is one of those times where a person could possibly be underestimating the might of the internet. And they're like, yo, you're going to regret this shit later. How could I?
My name not Atron. I don't care.
It's yo.
Y'all not ready for this. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I thought I'd have been running for the water by now.
Is it really not that bad?
It's not that bad.
Is it more flavorful or more
There's more flavor. Okay. See, I was shocked at how much flavor is actually with this.
May I have one of those sausages?
Go for it.
It's just going to be us eat. Apparently there are entire podcasts where people just eat.
I can do that.
People like
can you
the
afford
sound
to
of
do it,
people
though?
eating. I mean, yeah, it's just food. You could just buy any food and just eat.
Well, I mean... At some point, you'll get people trying to sponsor it. Well, why don't you eat our food on this? Kind of like how...
Hey, guys should do those spicy noodles in the black packs.
They're not that spicy.
To you, but what about him?
They're really not.
You wanna...
Do I want to fuck up my day? Sure, yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, you literally just saw me go twice with this, and I'm still fine.
It's because it wasn't dripping.
Joe, your mouth could be amazing. Your mouth could be legendary. I don't know. My mouth
That's why
could
he
be
gets all the girls.
Little baby bitch mouth.
Out here, so you can just have the plate there. You can just fill.
You want me to?
No, because I don't trust you.
That's why I said that you want me to.
Right.
It didn't break the plate.
Not yet.
I can get a chopstick, and this way you just scoop it out and be fine.
Just get a straw. Just.
Right.
Just.
Actually, just put the sausage down and
I got it.
double tap it.
Yeah.
Check for a pulse. Ooh, that would be mean.
What?
Empty out a bottle of toothpaste. Put that in it. Or a tube of toothpaste. Then like let somebody you know who like they'll be paying attention, brush their teeth with it, see what happens.
It's really not that bad.
I told you, but tasty, right?
Yeah. I hear you got Joe like putting a buttload on. He's gonna murder himself. All right. So, Endgame. We've all seen it. What do you want? Okay. I'm going to start off by saying Thanos is a fucking idiot. Thanos is a fucking idiot because he took all that time to destroy the Infinity Stones, the effort, but it's like, they come back eventually. Now, I know that, like, it takes time, but, like, either they could come back or someone could make something that taps into their energy, and then it's like, well, fuck. Like, what's the point of, like, you know what I mean? You probably would have done better hiding them. Because if you hid them, then people would be like, oh shit, where they exist.
Where are the stones?
Word. Spend the rest of your fucking life going through the endless cosmos of space trying to look for them.
I mean, they were hidden before, and he found them in like 3 movies.
But a lot of them weren't really hidden, though. They were like, literally, the Power Stone was sitting in a fucking temple called the Temple of the fucking Power Stone. Like it.
And you have someone who was already looking for them for like a millennia, so.
Collector.
Yeah.
He's been looking for.
But he don't have the resources Thanos have.
And then he got lucky with all of them being on Earth, technically.
Collector has a buttload of resources, especially even.
But not Thanos resources.
He does though. He just doesn't use them to do Thanos things. He does them to. He uses them to be like, I'm a collect shit, because that's what he does. He lives.
He collect himself.
He's one of those things where he's gonna live forever, so he doesn't try to like.
It's not needed as much.
That's not his goal. Like what he's choosing to do with his immortality is, I'm gonna collect shit.
He didn't collect them stones though.
He collected a lot of them.
Then he only collect one and the other ones was given to him?
He's supposed to be dumb strong. So yeah, pretty much.
He's like Watcher race strong. He's like the Watcher's race strong, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, he is one, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah. This is one of those moments where you're like, I know people are like, oh, but it's not the comics, it's MCU. I'm like, okay, but the comics have already shown, they've already told you that every single universe in the Marvel multiverse has at least those rules with respect to like, we know that even in the movie, they set up the idea that like the Infinity Stones aren't really destroyed, because if they were destroyed, time itself and all the other, like the space-time continuum for that universe would be it would just end. Yeah. So right when he destroyed them, it would have been, oh, done. Nothing else. Nothing exists anymore. Because she said, these things together create the flow of time. As long as their energies exist, the universe keeps going and the time continuum just keeps going. Mm-hmm. He destroyed them, the time continuum kept going, so it's like, so that means they're not destroyed. All the Infinity Stones are is they tap into the fundamental energy of the universe. I was trying to get somebody to explain it there to understand that, because they were like, no, they're just like really strong. And I'm like, no, they are literally like.
Well, even when they explain it in the Guardians of the Galaxy, it explains completely exactly what they are. And it says just that, like when the universe was created, boop, these stones here was represent what they're representing. And I was like, oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Exactly. So yeah, Thanos is an idiot. Because you know that much about the Infinity Stones, but then you like.
I think he was too smart for his own good for that to think that it would be along those lines.
You said he was hurt. But but the amount of planning that he's put into that, I feel like he should have like.
He might not have known that he would have got hurt. It's like, oh, guess what? I can't use this arm. Oh, I can't use this arm a lot now.
It's one of those things where, like, I wonder if they actually, if there was any precedent for knowing anything about the Infinity, because like, is that the first time the Infinity Stones came together in that universe?
Yes.
Okay.
They've been used, like, individually they have been used.
Yeah.
But not on that caliber. I think the one that's really been used the most has been the Power Stone.
I think Thanos was the first person to, because it's like power, so people are like, oh, I'm going to use that.
Because it's known that no one can really hold on to it for much longer because they'll wind up killing them, blah, blah, blah.
Even when people are, like, using it together, really.
Yeah.
The only reason what's his name was able to do it is because, like, Ego's his dad, so it's like, he kind of hold on. If it was the rest of them and just a regular person, like a regular human, they probably all would have died. So he was kind of a sponge for like most of that shit. But yeah, I think even in the comics, I think Thanos was the first person to put them all together for 616.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, oh, they all work together. This and that. They have like similar whatever. So put them together, see what happens. And
now I think it was like alluded to that someone was trying to do that before because of the gauntlet being made or something being made to harness all the powers all at once for that. But
possibly.
I haven't read anything or seen anything that suggests that someone did it before and that's why they have the knowledge for that. I don't know.
I think the gauntlet might just be like the hand or like the body part of the entity that they used to be. Because before that universe started, remember they said like the stones want to be together? It's because they were once like an entity, like an alien or something like that split apart into the different stones, and then the universe happened.
So before the Lantern Corps, there was just Infinity Monster.
Pretty much.
That's right, guys. An alien blew up from eating too much hot sauce, and there's a universe for you. You're a big ass fart. There you go.
Yeah, the universe is just God's fart. It's just. He's like, oh, whoops.
And the stones are the bits of corn that was left in the poop. Anyway.
Can you imagine farting and then having to take care of a buttload of children? Like, God damn. No, but, yeah, so back to the movie, though.
That's what porn stars do after an anal shoot. So about Endgame.
You really just... Okay, all right. No, I'm not even... Right, no, we're not doing that.
We can cut
yes,
that out.
discuss.
No, we're not cutting anything out. They're going to know exactly how weird we are.
Damn.
Yeah. No, so, yeah, what'd you guys think of the movie?
That fight scene, 3v1, was nice.
Bruh, that was like my
favorite. Good fight scene.
We doing this? Yeah, we do it. All right, let's go. Thor with the fucking two hammers. I was like... And it's like beard just like tied itself. That shit was dope.
You don't know how to do that.
Word, Joe. You don't know how to do beard. That. No, the dumb thing is, I thought it was mad stupid because in the Flash, Barry gets powers. He gets struck by lightning. Lightning gives him abs. What the fuck happened to Thor?
Well, they said they didn't want to.
Just like and then no abs.
They said they didn't want to do that. The Russo brothers, it was more of like...
they saw that episode of What's the Name, and they were like, no.
It was more like, from what I had read, it was more of a... He has issues because of, he felt like he failed, blah, 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 blah. He had the issues, but his weight was never one of his issues. It was more a mental and personality kind of thing. Personal stuff.
That kind of led to the weight being a thing.
But the weight was never an issue, though. Which is why when he, even when he got his hammers...
he could still fight.
Yeah, that's why when he got his hammers and stuff, he stayed big. Because his weight was never an issue. It was more of a personal thing for him, particularly. Because basically, it's like, you can be worthy regardless of how you look. It's about the insides.
That was a good message, too. I like that. That they were like, yeah, even in depression, you're worthy. That was crazy.
Yep.
And now he's got, like, a classic Viking build, because,
Oh yeah, you gotta have it. Tiny. I really did thoroughly enjoy the movie. I hate the fact that it made me cry so much. Too big for that.
Dude,
now you didn't cry, you wept. There's a difference.
Some reason, dude, I cried more the second time I saw it. When I saw it with you, for some reason, I knew it was gonna happen, and I was sitting there like, big tough fucking man, you're not gonna fucking cry. You know this shit's coming. You just keep it, you shove it in the bottle that is your emotion bottle in your fucking mind, and you don't cry. And then I saw like what was it? It was right before Tony died, and I was just like, yo.
See, I was hurt when I saw that. Like, oh god, he's dead. He's dead. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Then here comes Peter. Fuck,
Mr. Stark.
We did it, Mr. Stark.
Oh my god, no! Like it started to come down, and then here comes
he just
Pepper.
leans into
It
Tony.
was over.
He just leans into Tony and whispers like, "Do you feel it, Mr. Krabs?" No, yeah, Pepper was good, but it's like
her suit was on point. Like when she came in, her and Tony back to back, just doom blasting stuff.
That
was
shit
great.
Was fucking. You want to talk about relationship goals, motherfucker? That is relationship goals.
It would have been funny if she'd have went back and said, "Yeah, you still think I don't wear the stuff you get me?"
Yeah, right. People were mad about that though because people were mad about the rescue suit having offensive abilities because typically it only has defensive or stealth abilities. Because Pepper like is not a violent person. That's shown through her.
That's why her suit is rescue.
Exactly.
But the thing you gotta think about is, hey, if there's a giant tree on that house and we gotta move the tree to get to the people inside, blast the tree.
Or you could lift the tree too.
Or blast the tree.
Oh, okay. Now, what if you have a bunch of things
crazy.
falling down at you?
Huh?
The only thing that's going to wind up happening is you got to get out of it. Like a gigantic
Like,
boulder.
oh no, there's
you.
a cave in.
I mean, it's
also this is after we know aliens could come to Earth and rock us.
Yeah,
this
Tony
isn't
kept
like
that
hey.
in mind when he was making it. He wasn't like, oh,
I was just
like
about to
Thanos
say,
exists.
It was
Now,
like,
if
you
it was-
really
if it
think
was-
it was going to have it be that way? Look what he did with Peter's suit.
Yeah. Gave
Oh,
it
yeah.
Instant kill mode.
Yeah,
That
instant
shit
kill
was
mode.
dope. He actually activated it. Was using. He's like, he's just like stabbing motherfuckers through the. And then he's like in a pile of bodies, like I don't know what to do, and it's still killing people. Right? It's making like a wall of enemies around him, like, just dead bodies. He's just like stuck in them. That shit was great. Oh fucking yo, Cap using Thor's hammer, fucking
doing combos off the
it
shield.
was fucking perfect.
And we're going to put a pin in because you mentioned the shield. I'm so irritated that Thanos was able to break the shield.
That
with
shit
his
was
fucking
so
sword.
stupid. Even if it was just vibranium, you shouldn't have been able to break
I mean,
it
that could have been celestial metal. We don't know what it was made out of.
possible. It's possible.
Because nothing.
If he has shown nothing about him dealing with anything with Celestials whatsoever to even get Celestial metal on top of that, there's no way that sword is made out of that. No fucking way. I'm
for it to just be out of
bullshit.
nowhere, yeah, that would be stupid. For them to just say like, oh, it's just like it's celestial metal. It's like, where did he get that? I mean, you could argue that like
Maybe that's what the Eternal movie is going to be about.
You could argue that nowhere is a thing that like, oh, it's a celestial's floating head, so maybe there was like, I don't know, he had some fillings or some shit or whatever. I don't fuck some stupid shit like that. But it's like, for it to just come out of nowhere, they're not gonna. You know what I mean?
Could have had Peter Dinklage make it.
I don't think he even has access to it.
No, he just has like copious amounts of Uru metal. That's pretty much it.
I mean, if Odin isn't able to get his hands on that stuff, Thanos ain't getting shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, Thanos knows some people, so he might be able to get it, but like there was no like.
See, in between when Odin was sleeping, Thanos was like, "Yo, we're gonna go nowhere. We're gonna take all that metal, give it to Peter Dinklage, make me something cool."
Also, where the fuck was that sword? I guess he's just like, I have the gauntlet. I don't need this thing. Because wherever the fuck was that sword in Infinity War?
Right.
Or any time before that. We've never seen that sword. They introduced that sword as like, this is the shield breaker. For this movie only. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I call bullshit.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I mean, the first time you see him, he's on what's-the-name ship. He didn't really need the sword. When he's fighting
well, yeah, because he already had the fucking gauntlet by that point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
that's
like,
why you didn't
all
see
the
it.
other things before, like, we've seen Thanos a couple times, and he never had... Like, he was sitting in that...
in that throne.
And he didn't have the sword like sitting next to him or something stupid like that. Like, it's just...
No, didn't he have, like, a hammer or some shit next to him? He grabbed something when you see him
when
talking...
Ronan was talking shit.
Yeah, you see him grab something, and I swore it was, like, some warhammer or some stupid thing like that. I gotta go back and rewatch it.
I can't even remember.
Obviously, that new sword is an upgrade, Monster Hunter style.
Word.
I can't wait for that new.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I watched it. I
have
can't
not
wait
seen
for that.
the video.
I'm actually probably going to update everything today. I'm just turn every system on and just update everything simultaneously because I haven't turned anything on in a while.
Well, it's not. Isn't that?
Well, see, the thing is, it doesn't drop until
right?
September, but I'm gonna update everything now so that way I can beef up. So when it drops,
Oh,
get one shot.
Gotcha.
Because I hear they might release G rank, and if they release G rank, it's going one shot everybody, pretty kind of maybe. So I need to beef up hard. I've been neglecting myself.
You're not the only one because even now I still gotta get up on that.
I have to get up and level a couple. I'm at like 40 something. I don't even know.
Yes, I'm half that.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Actually, is the spring event going on right now? Do you know?
To my knowledge, no.
Because I was going to say, if the spring event is going right now, there's usually a couple quests that's designed to give you more experience or give you more.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep my eyes out on that. Lately, I've just been going into Expedition and just fighting everything. And trying to level up that way.
Because I have most of the armors I want, I just got to get the rest of the weapons and then beef everything up.
Back to the movie, just so we can like put that in one place instead of like coming back to it a million at one time. Because we're gonna do that. We're gonna go off on tangents and then
tangents are the best.
So, anything else for the movie?
I called it with the kid, the random kid in the end. I called it being that little kid. That
I didn't know who that was at the very end when I first saw it.
I called it because I clean had the who the fuck
Arnaldo
is this
looked
kid?
it up.
And
Yeah.
I was like, that has to be the kid from before. Like, I'm
Harley.
cold. I know. Why do I know? Because we're connected.
It was great.
It was so great.
That kid.
He
He looked entirely he looked entirely different, which is why I didn't even try to my brain didn't even go there. And then I saw it the second time, and I'm with the knowledge that was him, and I was looking at him like, oh yeah, I can see how that would be like the older version of that kid, because that kid was like a teen. He was like what, 12, 13 or something like that when Tony first met him.
I'll say like 10, 11, and that
But
puts
even
him around 16.
Even in 10, yeah, like 16. In those 6 years, those are like the growth hormone years for humans. So it's like, you know.
And you have this guy growth hormones all the time.
I wish.
Are you still growing?
For those of you who don't know, I am only 5'11".
Lies.
I'm only 5'11".
So I'm taller than you?
Yeah.
So I hurt my neck when I look at you and I'm taller than you.
Yeah, that's because you're always sitting down. 5'11" isn't short. First of all, for all you people who think 5'11" is short, it's not.
Joe,
man is
you
like
are
7'2".
all of like 8 feet.
What?
You are Seiryu the Blue Dragon. You are all of 8 feet.
Wow.
Man walking around like Master
Isn't
Chief.
he 12 feet tall though?
He's like 12 or 9 or something like that.
That's why I said Master Chief. Master Chief.
So
is about 8 or
should I
9.
just start
I think
whistling
Master Chief,
the Freaky Fred's theme every time I walk into a room?
Yeah, sure, why not? Oh, that shit was so weird. You started playing that in the middle of the card game, and I was just like, no. I can't fight. No,
So do you think that's what's going through my head when I'm playing Dead by Daylight? Because I get real quiet.
I'm gonna be really honest, Joe. You scared the fuck out of me this morning. I came downstairs and he's playing as with that laugh. He's playing as the killer, and he's just dumb silent. Like normally, Joe is sitting here yelling at shit, and he's just like, "Oh, you fucking asshole! You fucking." Words I'm not gonna say because I'm not of that community. A word that rhymes with maggot. But you were like dumb quiet. You were like cold and calculated. I was like, Joe, I'm fucking scared right now. I'm not in the game, but I'm very scared.
Because I was concentrating. I mean, I concentrate when I'm playing a Survivor too, but I'm in a survival mode, trying to get away from a killer. And when I'm playing a killer, I gotta embody the killer.
I'm just imagining him being like la 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 la.
Concentrating like Thanos before that fight.
Yo,
that
Thanos,
shit was took
see,
his helmet off.
You see,
put the shit in the ground. Come at me.
You seen Sherlock
Nigga,
Holmes?
I'm waiting.
With Robert Downey Jr.? You seen Sherlock Holmes, Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
You know how in his fights
that with you.
Yeah, sure. But you know how he visualized what he's gonna do? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna punch him in the face, I'm gonna punch him in the throat,
sure.
I'm gonna slap him in the eyes. That's basically what he was doing. He took his helmet off. I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit him with that 8-hit combo. I'm gonna hit him with that 12-hit combo. I'm gonna slap him with his own hammer.
I know everyone loves that fight scene.
That's exactly why he got caught off guard, because he was like, oh shit, this nigga picked up the hammer. That's why he got caught for a second, because he was like, oh shit. I need to remake this shit because damn.
I know it was a good fight scene. It was really good. The whole end, it was spectacular. They did an amazing job with that. I'm so pissed at the fact that why in the hell they just have to just. Why are you making Captain America look so fucking great, but you're gonna nerf the fuck out of Hulk and Thor? And
to be fair, Thor was getting his ass beat. Like he was doing good, but then dude was just
when was he doing good? When was he doing good? At what point was Thor doing good? When he had Mjolnir and Stormbreaker was like lightning, and then that was it. Other than that, he was getting slapped around.
Up until because the only way to get Thanos really, he's a really good fighter. He's a really strong motherfucker. He's a tactician. So the only way to really get like the drop on this version of Thanos is to surprise the fuck out of him. The 2 times he started getting fucked up in the fight was when someone surprised him. Like a person he didn't know didn't use their powers in front of him or something like that or whatever. So when
Wanda.
Literally when Wanda, get out of my head. When Wanda was shoving his armor up his ass, that's when he was like, "Oh shit, I'm not ready it, fire, do it, ah!" He's just like, our people though. He's like, who gives a fuck? My armor's up my ass, just do it. Like,
but you see, the thing is, Thor is also a tactician when it comes to fighting as well. That's why I keep saying he is. I feel
like they might have nerfed him in that department.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Why are you going to nerf down the stuff? I can understand power wise, because if you can't do it power wise with him, because you can't do it power wise with Hulk.
He's been fighting for thousands of years. You think that he'd be a better tactician than fucking even Cap?
Exactly.
But Cap got like taught though by like military minds that like know how to do this.
But see, he's been taught military minds for fighting humans. Yeah. While you have someone like Thor who's fighting like
monsters and
what
everything.
The fuck is this here coming at us?
Giants and everything.
He tends to be pretty good though with respect to like respecting what a thing can do, even if he has no like.
Okay,
like he has no basis for what the fuck Thanos can do, and he does a pretty good job.
On a whole nother note with the whole thing, I understand that Cap's ass is amazing and whatnot. We just had to mention the meme in there. But if he throws a kick to Thanos, ain't no way in hell that his kick is pushing Thanos around or him punching Thanos.
Definitely not. Unless
it bothered the hell out of me.
Unless when he started using the hammer, he got even more strength because the strength of Thor.
The hammer doesn't do anything for the strength. When it comes down for...
I thought it just made you into Thor.
No. Okay, so with Thor, he's naturally already strong.
Well, yeah.
But now it is. But now his
compared
belt...
to what's his name, though, he's like, Thor is like dumb strong compared to that.
Thor, I'm saying Thor is like dumb strong already.
He should get the boost up.
But what makes Thor even stronger is his belt. That belt multiplies his strength by 2. And that's why he's able to combat against Hulk when Hulk is like really, really hulking out.
In the MCU, that's a thing?
No, that's just Thor in general. That's
I know that for the comics. I didn't know.
But see, the problem is when they do the movies, they don't always add those little extra bits. Yeah. Which is annoying, which is stupid.
But mother thing, like he should be dumb broken because his mom is fucking Gaia.
Right. Exactly.
They left that shit out of the movie.
But when it comes out for what Mjolnir does, they never mention anything for it coming up or anything. Just the fact that Mjolnir is just is a catalyst to get the lightning out for Thor because he doesn't know the fact he can do it by himself.
That's fucking.
That's all Mjolnir was for in the MCU.
I thought that was really
nothing to deal with strength whatsoever.
And then people were like, "Why the fuck does?" So why does he Stormbreaker? Why is that even necessary? If he has the power to remember what he was doing to Hulk in the
because Stormbreaker has its own powers to begin with.
Yeah, it's like a higher class of weapon or some shit.
And that's what Stormbreaker brings to the game.
I just thought it was weird that he wasn't like doing it out of his hands anymore or anything like that.
Exactly.
Like, well, hammer, though, so.
He's also used to it. He's like 1,000 years of him. Use my hammer to do it.
But when he was fighting Hela, it was he was just shooting out his hands. But at that time, he had the complete confidence of, I am now the new king, blah, blah, blah.
My dick is the biggest.
Eyeball.
My dick
I'm
is the biggest.
Strongest Avenger. And now he is back to where it's like, I'm not worthy.
That's probably
I
the only
suck
place where
ass.
you can't say that. My dick is the biggest because he's like Hulk. It's like, oh God. Yeah, I feel like Thor, they could have, I don't know. Because there's a point where you start adding, I was talking to you about that, I think, the other day. You start adding so much stuff from the comics that it's like, there's almost, these characters have been around since like the 60s. There's like too much to put in sometimes. Yeah, you can't put everything in, so you gotta like leave some stuff out, and that means nerfing people sometimes.
And I understand now. I get upset when it comes to you're going to nerf something that doesn't need to be nerfed, though. It doesn't make any sense for you to nerf that one in particular thing.
Because it's a win-all thing, Joel. If he was that strong, he could just fuck Thanos up himself. Nobody else would have to fight him or something like. You know what I mean? And that's the excuse they give us, but we're like.
That's why they weaken the Hulk because.
Well, they can't. What Hulk is capable of doing when.
Also,
Hulk is just hard. For one, it's hard to like do that even with the modern technology with CGI and everything now. But would you really want to watch a movie where everything looks like it's all fucking computer generated and looking like
the whole camera shaking because the world is shaking because
right.
he's put his pinky toe out and cracked a tectonic plate. Like,
so I understand nerfing Hulk to the point where like that, but as much as they nerfed him to where a Hulkbuster
Hulk
suit
is supposed to be broken.
Right.
He's supposed to be like up there with strength too. It's not supposed to just be like, oh, I fucking, you know what I mean? I have control over it now, but now I'm like, that means that I
weak. It's like, I'm supposed to be beefy.
I mean, everybody wanted to see the rematch between Hulk and Thanos. They want to see Hulk go.
Oh yeah, I was disappointed about that.
I fully thought we were going to get that, and I was like, oh, apparently not. Thanks a lot.
That would have been a dope fight with like, I mean, that three-way fight was dope, but like, if you had I don't know, Hulk, Cap, and Thor, and then Tony's off doing whatever, I don't know, or maybe even just add him to it.
You know what they could have did is you know when they were all like, because you know how Hulk was underground because he was getting smushed.
Yeah.
If while Cap, Iron Man, and Thor were fighting Thanos, if he would have like knocked them all back, or maybe he was like kind of like how he was when he was on top of Thor. In that kind of situation, have Hulk reach up from the ground, and then just that would have been crazy, and have Hulk go in. And then him and Hulk have their rematch. He gets the one up on Hulk, and then that's when Cap hits him with the hammer, and is like, "Oh no, Cap can use the hammer." Everyone would be like, "Ah!"
He got in some good hits with that hammer too. Like for
back of the head.
Bow! For like I just picked this up 2 seconds ago. He was pretty good.
But he was watching Thor use it so much.
That's what I was telling people.
He even did Thor's little.
That's what I was telling people at work. It was like, oh, how come he can use him? Like he's been watching Thor use it for like 5 years.
Also, he's not a fucking idiot. He knows how to fight.
Right.
If we're talking about just purely like hand-to-hand combat, if you take away Thor's strength, I'm pretty sure like Cap could probably, if you put them on equal footing in terms of because Thor oftentimes he's always had super strength, so he's always had like I can grab a person, anybody, whoever they are, by the shoulder and throw them across a field easily. But he doesn't do hand to hand like technique.
But he's been trained in hand to hand combat, and the only people who actually been able to like outdo him when it comes to that, well, at least comic book wise, like the Valkyries, but they're even more trained than what he is. But he's over here.
Well, yeah, because they're like special Pegasus riding.
Exactly, but he's also had the training with them before, because Sif was over putting it on him. So he has the training for it.
Is she really a Valkyrie though? Does she count?
She gets trained as one. I don't know if she's like.
She doesn't. I don't think she counts as one.
No.
She got trained by him though.
It was because she's trying to be with Thor and having their little. I swear, in order for you to be a bomb ass chick in any comic book, anything, you got to be a lesbian. I mean, let's put it out there.
Then there's Wanda.
She
the only her Storm and Rogue are like the only three. Because I'm sorry, Jean I think is a low key lesbo, which is why the Phoenix goes crazy all the time. Because like, just let me munch on some carpets.
Is that line gonna show up in Dark Phoenix?
Probably.
Yeah, just let me munch on some carpet.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. It's like, damn girl, you thinking of cold grits? Let me show you this Dark Phoenix. It's about to be over. That's gonna be the end. That's gonna be the end scene right there.
We're doing it, I guess. Shit. So speaking of lesbians,
oh good lord,
I'm kidding now.
Weird
Speaking of just women. Strong, powerful women in general.
How badass was that when they all came
People
together?
were hating on that though.
For what?
I thought it was fucking amazing when I was like, every woman who is like, every single fucking problem I've had for the past 10 years has been this nigga causing problems for either me or my man or my people or this, that, and the third. I'm gonna get in his ass. And they all just fucked him up together. People were hating on that because people were saying like, well, how did they all know that they were gonna like come together and stuff? It's like, no, they all saw Thanos and they're like, oh hey, I get a chance to
needs
punch
help.
him in the face. Not even that. I see Thanos right there by himself. I'm gonna go punch him in the face. And they all looked around like, oh, y'all all do? All right, we're all about to punch him in the face like together. What's wrong with that? And then you had apparently there's women who are like, well, the biggest problem was when you had those women come together. A lot of those women are people who don't have well-developed characters. Like their character is not like they didn't do anything with them. They weren't influential or important or this and third. Or
okay,
whatever.
well then,
Pepper, at least that's what I'm hearing.
Pepper and the Iron Man 3 over here beating the main bad guy at the end of it all.
Word.
Valkyrie, if it wasn't for her,
New Asgard would have fell apart.
Thor and
Thor Ragnarok, that whole thing would have fell apart.
Yeah.
Who else?
Okoye was
Okoye being a fucking boss like she always is.
Right. I dare someone to come up and say that she wasn't fighting.
I will flip the table on them.
And then you're gonna have Captain Marvel, who she has her own. She has her own movie. I don't care if anyone says you got the own movie before it, so shut up.
She had character development. She didn't have memory. Now she has memory.
Until Rogue becomes a thing and goes to be like, "Hey, sugar, let me shake that hand."
I wonder how they would do that because
are they gonna make her country?
See, in the comics, she got it from her when she was Miss America, Miss Marvel, not when she was Captain Marvel.
I don't think it's gonna wind up. Well, I mean,
what are you talking about? What?
Rogue.
I don't think they're going to have Rogue do anything when it comes to that at all because Rogue no longer has her powers.
Well, it depends.
Unless they're going to
it depends how they introduce
everything.
That's what I heard they were going to do. I heard they were rebooting everything. They
always do that.
And I heard the only person that was coming back was Ryan Reynolds. Everyone else was going to be new. That's what I heard.
That's probably for the best because clean slate. He's the only person who's done like they're if they still had Patrick Stewart to do X-Men because like he doesn't want to be Xavier anymore. He doesn't want to do the movies anymore. Hugh Jackman doesn't want to do the movies anymore.
He's kind of old.
So exactly. So it's one of those things where it's like those were the people who would have been perfect if they brought those in. They were like, oh no, we're keeping him, but they're all gone. So they're like, oh, this new group of people who people have only gotten we've seen like maybe 4 or 5 movies with the longest running person we've seen in like maybe 4 movies in this cast. So we're like, no, they're like no, except for Deadpool because like money. He came out of nowhere, made a movie, pitched them a movie that was like what it took $10 million to make, $8 million.
I don't understand how people didn't think no one would like Deadpool as a character in the movie.
People because they're stupid.
I was like, are you fucking stupid?
Well, because they were convinced that you could do it, but they were like, what's the right way to do a Deadpool movie? I'm like,
do Deadpool as Deadpool. Exactly. Fuck you, me.
Don't try to change anything. Don't sugarcoat things. Make it fucking R-rated. Which was a big problem for them at first because they were like,
Speaking of that, apparently there are so many adult takes of Detective Pikachu they could make an R-rated version of it. Yeah. And I was like, do it.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I was like,
So now in Deadpool 3, he's got to say something about being Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
He's going to get like electrocuted or something.
I feel like it's going to be something just so...
I was a Pikachu in a past life. That's why I didn't just die from that massive amount of electricity. Yeah.
It has to be something between him and Spider-Man. Something has to go down between them.
Bro, him and Jake Gyllenhaal are best friends, so they have to do it. Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. So it's like, okay, crossover. Let's do it.
And then the trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home is weird because I'm like, I
heard something about 616 universe or 616 Earth, and I was like, wait, what? How?
See,
MCU
I haven't.
is supposed to be different from 616. And I heard
It is
something
supposed
about
to be different.
616. I haven't watched the trailer, but
They're
it was
not-
like it
Yeah, I
was.
haven't
It
watched
was
the
in
trailer
the
yet.
like a
if they
thumbnail.
try to do that,
It
that
says
is going to
Spider-Man
fucking destroy
Far From Home
continuity.
616.
Because the MCU is like the universes that you read in the comics are all different universes, etc. Blah blah. 616 is the main universe for people who don't know, and it's like the MCU has its own number designation. It is a universe that, like, if the main Marvel universe, Tony Stark got all of the Infinity Stones together, or even just found a way to make a portal. There's buttloads of ways to make portals between universes. He could make his way into the main, like, into the MCU if he wanted to. Because the MCU is not just like an isolated thing. It is part of the Marvel multiverse. It is its own universe in the Marvel multiverse. The same way that the X-Men universe from the old movies is, the two Spider-Man universes, they're all supposed to be multiverses that are part of the multiverse. So you could make... So if you were to take what is now the MCU and just say, like, oh, it's 616 or whatever, and this, that, you're going to make a weird thing where, like, you're going to have problems because the comics, the movies,
are
they
616.
don't share the same universe. Exactly. That's like that'd be really stupid and confusing for people who, like, give a shit about continuity, I guess, or whatever. Other people are going to be like, oh, 616, what's that? It's just like, And then it's like, are they going to bring it in the same way that they originally did? Probably not, because who the fuck... People don't even know who Captain Britain is. That was the reason why they gave him a number designation, because Captain Britain was the first. Captain Britain was one of the first, if not the first, character to have a multiverse adventure where he found, like, a core of people who are like, we're the Captain Britain Corps. It's like, what the fuck is that? That's a core of people who police the multiverse, and they're Captain Britons from every single universe. And they're like, what universe? They just slapped a number on his fucking universe. I can't remember what the reason was for 616, but that is the main Marvel universe. So they're probably not going to introduce it that way. I'm wondering, like, how are you going to do this? You've already introduced the idea of alternate timelines in Endgame.
Because Loki.
I don't think... that's another thing that kind of pisses me off, too. It's like, what are they going to do with Loki and that whole thing?
He's going to get a TV show.
Well, no, the fact that he just disappeared.
Yeah.
He's going to pop up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sif did.
It's going to be an official Marvel team. Well, I mean, that is too, but it's like they don't... I've never watched it. I keep asking you about stuff, and I'm like, why
See,
don't
I'm
they
not caught up, but
do stuff?
pretty much everything before Thanos, they
kind of cross over a little bit.
yeah. Like I said, Sif was literally in an episode. She was getting worked a little bit because she was fighting a Kree. Like, I'm fresh and blue. Get these hands, Kree. And he had like this cattle prong, this alien cattle prong thing. He was messing people up.
Prod.
Yeah. What's the name was?
When you said prong, I was like, what?
What's the name was in the episode too?
She got poked with what?
Actually, you remember Warehouse 13?
Yeah.
What's Pete? He played.
Yeah, I
he was
did
the
hear
Kree.
about that. Yeah.
But Samuel L. Jackson was in an episode. There's a couple people here and there.
I know what's her name was in Supernatural. Maya. Was that her name? Maya, the chick who was with Pete. They were partnered together.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Maya or something like that.
It's been a while. Pete was.
She had a weird pronounced name. Remember?
Yeah.
Pete was dope.
I don't know. I never watched the show.
You gotta watch
that's what we gotta
Warehouse
watch
13.
next.
Nah, we're gonna watch Kamen Rider first.
Wait, you watched Warehouse 13 before? You just didn't watch all of it because Artie.
I've seen bits and pieces. I consider that not.
I know what you're saying.
You're
I know
really
what you're
just
saying.
gonna let Carl just go into your mind and just pull it. You just incepted the idea that you saw.
Well, no, because he told me about it before. This is when I was living on that street, and
Red Light District.
right, exactly.
The Red Light District.
Because I'm just a horrible person like that.
Yep.
And I watched it, but it was whatever episodes was here and there because that's I was working like 4 or 5 jobs, you know.
Making that money.
Working like a Jamaican.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's also the time period when I got him into Leverage. Leverage, that's a good show.
No, that was after. Because that's when I was on rugby.
Oh, yeah, right.
Rugby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a street.
See, that's the street that's everywhere, so I could just say that one without worrying about it.
Is it though?
The other street is the one where it's like, okay, there's really only two
that is
spots.
specific to this city. No, I'm not. people can find out where we are though. I think one of our things says like what town we're in at least.
Actually,
oh, now you telling me this? And I'm over talking all this smack, so people are going to start finding me out. Thanks.
You haven't said anything about anybody in particular, have you?
They're going to get mad about the Dark Phoenix comment that I said.
Nah, they're going to get mad about when you said about liars.
I mean, that's black people everywhere.
Yeah, well, with me being white, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Really, nigga? You think your credit score is gonna go up because you say that?
I'm hoping.
Oh my god, freaking Spider-Man was funny. I thought Spider-Man was funny. The second he got the second Black Panther touched the gauntlet, I was like, put it on. Put that shit on.
I thought he was because it was like, I got this.
Because the way he was holding it like this and his hand was like that, I was like, bruh, just like, just put it in there.
Just go ahead and be like, I'm gonna use this. Ippon back and be like, Wakanda forever. And then snap his fingers while he's in the middle of
with the shoulders.
Exactly.
The shoulder
but wait, would his suit be able to absorb?
That's what we were talking about the other day.
Because it does absorb. So maybe he wouldn't even be affected by
energy
it.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's possible.
I still think it's stupid that Hulk wasn't able to regenerate from that.
I think Tony's suit does a similar thing where it like displaces energy and it still fucked him up like really bad.
No, his doesn't do that.
Wakanda metal. So
yeah, that's all the vibranium and all that stuff that's there. But his suit doesn't really.
I don't think Tony
disperses it like how.
That's why his suit. That's why he after he snapped, he wasn't like complete. That's why he wasn't dark like Carl.
Wow, just gonna call him out like that.
He's a regular person.
Just gonna call him out like that? That's fucked up.
We mean call him out like that. I introduced him as Obscura. You're the one who called him Carl earlier.
They don't know that's his real name.
See how he always ruining stuff?
Can't take it nowhere. No, bullshit. Joe ruined it. How? With his long flowing cardigan.
Wow, you have my cardigan right now? You have my cardigan.
That's how
like this is not the most waviest thing in the world.
One of the coolest things to watch Joe just go from room to room.
That's how you
just like it looks like Batman.
That's how you know. That's how you
feel like goddamn.
That's how you know he's dark. Because you remember in the when Scarlet
and
Hellboy
she came at his cardigans.
She was
I've been meaning to talk to you because you dress like an Ann Taylor.
So
you look like my grandma. You have more cardigans than my grandma. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that sucked that she didn't make it to the end to see the final fight. It's like, oh, she's the only person in the original crew that didn't get to see the final fight. It's like, that sucked. And then people were like, oh, Vision's gonna come. No, Vision's not gonna come back.
They need the stone to like do stuff for Vision.
Well, they said that it's possible for him to like not exist without
But I'm saying, like if it was when they were taking it out and they got it out, that would have been one thing. But I don't think they can just flop them back together. They
could have fixed him because he was just kind of sitting there. Like, what'd they do with him? They just left him.
They left him
just sitting there.
The thing is with Vision is the fact that he's
vibranium. He belongs to us.
He is just a computer program.
Yeah,
inside of a.
He's a complex. I think they said a mixture of AI of Tony's brain scans, Bruce's brain scans, Jarvis, Ultron, and the Stone.
So, I mean, you have all that stuff there except for the Stone.
Which actually that makes sense because the first time Vision died in the comics. They actually, the guy that he was using his brain scans for, it was only one person. It was a guy named Wonder Man. Mm-hmm. Wonder Man died, and then he came back or something like that. And then when Vision died and came back, they were trying to like be like, okay, are we going to just use Wonder Man's? And Wonder Man was like, no. Or actually, no, I think he was dead, and then he came back, and they were like, no. He was like, no. At one point, he was like, I don't know. They're mine. Because he realized like what they were doing with them, so he's like, no, fuck that. So it does play to the idea of like the person one of the people who Vision got his brain whatever's from is dead and they can't get him back. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Also, Vision is another person they nerfed too much for my liking.
Yeah.
When it came down to Civil War, it's like, oh, here's Ant-Man, who's so gigantic. I'm just going to go into a little ball and like bump him a little, and that's all I'm going to do in this fight.
Something is inside of me. Ah!
And then I'm going to do a hyper beam.
Cripple Rhodey.
Word. Like, aren't you supposed to be like a super intelligent? Like,
He got distracted
by the booty.
Nah, it was specifically by her tits. She was wearing that corset that was pushing him all the way up. He was like, oh. He just looked right back at him. Actually, no, he didn't even. I'm pretty sure that like he didn't break contact with her tits when he fired that shot. He just turned his head like this and just had his eyes looking at the tits, but like he was just like That's why he missed. He was pretty close though.
Vision,
I remember people were complaining like, "Hey, why didn't Iron Man take Rhodey to Wakanda?" It's like Iron Man didn't know about that stuff yet. Like Cap did, because Cap literally went there. Iron Man didn't know yet.
Iron Man knows of them, but he doesn't like.
He doesn't know that they are of that level.
Yeah, because that's like a closely
guarded.
Well, I don't even really know if Cap knew.
No,
because they got the medal from them.
No, remember at the end. Remember Cap was like inside. Black Panther.
He gave them Bucky so that they could work, but like he didn't know that they would like.
It was because of T'Challa.
Cap doesn't know anything about.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Cap doesn't know shit about tech, so he's.
But I'm saying Cap knows that they're like. Ugh.
I don't think he even knows that.
No. At the end of Civil War, yeah.
Well, yeah. At the end of Civil War, he brought them there because they were like, we can help him. But he didn't know what the fuck that meant. He probably thought like, oh, you're gonna like do like some kind of
after
or something.
After the whole thing,
after that, then he was like, oh yeah, well I know where to bring Vision. Cause what the fuck? They're fixing Bucky. They can fix his head. They can fix.
But Vision's people were complaining about that for Rhodey, and it's like, but Iron Man don't know.
Also, I mean, Black Panther was kind of busy. He had his own movie going on.
Yeah, it was like
some other stuff
immediately after. Like literally, it was like, Rhodey's crippled. 2 days later, back at Wakanda.
He had to fix his own country and everything.
I was gonna say it was that whole thing that went down, and also he wasn't anywhere near when that happened. So
it was hangar with Natasha. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was that happened. They took him to the hospital, and now they're trying to find what's his name before all this stuff goes down. So then now they're at this compound that's in the middle of nowhere.
Or Serbia.
They could
someplace with those idiot
letters. They could have Thunderbolts instead of killing them off. They could have just had like, hey, Thunderbolts. It would have been great.
Right. So then now you have Bucky and
Winter Soldiers.
Captain America going up against Iron Man and him trying to stop the dude from killing himself because he felt that, I've done my purpose. Like, now you're going to live, fam. And that. So now you're going to take the person that you are now going to forgive and just go over there and fix him up.
That reminds me,
while forgetting the fact that the black man is kind of.
That guy wasn't really about killing himself. It was like you could probably just like bite your tongue off or some shit like that if you really wanted to die. If you were really about that, you wouldn't let a guy choking you out stop you.
Listen, if you look like that, which is a bitch, you look like a bitch.
It's a bitch.
You ain't gonna do nothing to yourself unless a object is gonna do it for you. Because anyone can bite their tongue off, but
you saying he's outsourcing?
Exactly. That's what all white people do. Am I wrong? Let's be honest here. India.
I didn't want to go there and talk about white people and stuff.
Japan.
We trying to get sponsors, Joe. I mean, shit.
White people like being made fun of. It's their white guilt fucking with them.
Yeah, because they're like, it's true.
Exactly. I mean, why do you think Get Out was so popular? You think it was black folks that was seeing that? We
held a mirror up to them and they were like, oh.
Yeah, that sucking place.
I get it. I'm terrible.
Nothing does magnificently well unless white people are like, yes, we accept this. Because
middle
slavery.
America. Oh, yeah, well, that too. Also, there's a buttload of them. Like, we tend to trick ourselves into thinking that, like, oh, black people, we're like half the population. It's like, no, we're like a fifth of their part of the population.
Well, okay, so within, like, they're saying 15 to 20 years, it will be the minority group, which being blacks, Hispanics, and Asians, will become the majority. And
because
the
Hispanics and the Asians are the ones that are like growing. We're like
we're
growing, but staying the same 13%.
Well, that's because the cops keep killing us. But
and other environmental factors that lead us to not have good families, good health, or good education.
White people, okay, but no, black people are increasing in population too. It is more so of black people who are increasing in population.
It's just we're increasing like at the same rate at like a normal. Whereas everybody else is like exploding because Arnaldo's got like 5 kids.
Well,
every Arnaldo's got 5
Hispanic
kids.
people just don't believe in wearing condoms because of religion.
Yeah. Again, white people. That white people force on them. They're like, hey, Catholicism. They're like, nah, we're good. It's like, no, Catholicism. And they're like, oh shit. Okay.
And Asians are just freaks. They just like fucking. And look at China and Japan. Look how overpopulated they are because they just can't stop banging it out. That's their national anthem.
You really just do. I feel like without like a Hispanic person or an Asian person here to maybe defend themselves, or a person who can claim that on their taxes. Can you really?
Yeah.
I mean, all right.
I legit have to check other and write out everything.
Shit.
And I still don't get a lot of money back, government. You can't see my head movements, but what the fuck? I need the monies.
Nobody gets the money back, Joe. What are you talking about?
Well, now with that orange in the fucking office, no one's getting
Agent
it.
Orange. Who's he working for?
Where are they?
He's like Nebula just busts in the room like, where are they? Oh, that was great. Alright, any more Endgame stuff?
I feel bad for what's name. He lost his tacos. He had to get pity tacos from the Hulk.
That shit was hilarious.
Right.
Can we just talk about Paul Rudd for a second and how this motherfucker just does, like, he's somehow, I don't know if, does Paul Rudd have black friends or something that he's siphoning the youth from? Because what the fuck? How the hell is he just doesn't age?
Because he's sexy, that's why. Leave him alone.
He's what?
He's sexy, that's why. Leave him alone.
Oh. Is that a crush?
He's daddy.
You mean Zaddy?
Oh, I'm not that black.
Oh, now you're... Okay.
I have to
Your
keep
taxes say otherwise, Joe.
I have to keep them guessing. They're not supposed to know exactly what I am.
Can you imagine how terrible it would be if they made
that white
airhead
airhead mystery flavor?
Exactly. I am the mystery flavor.
Can you imagine how terrible it would be if they taxed us and we didn't know exactly what like country from Africa we were from, and they're like, "Oh, you don't know that? Oh, well, there's like a 5% ignorance tax. I mean, you should know that."
They probably do that. Let's be honest.
Fucking
everybody's putting Wakanda from now on their taxes.
I'm putting Wakanda from now on.
I'm from Wakanda. Come save me!
I want to get one of those tattoos on my lip. So
I mean, you technically could. It is
they have
possible.
glow in the dark ones too. It's dope.
Yeah, it's just dumb hard to do,
and it hurts a lot. I'd imagine.
Should let Shadow do it.
I feel like well, he's done tattoos before.
Has he really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a Winter Soldier type thing. He's done his own tattoos on himself before.
I was trying to think of a way to call you without calling your name, without saying white boy. So I'm going to say white boy from now on. Why do you seen
Why do you sound like Pegasus?
Endgame? Huh?
You sound like Pegasus.
White boy.
Kaiba boy.
Kaiba. Yugi boy.
And he wasn't even gay. I still don't...
He's gay. I'm sorry.
He had his dying wife, Joe. His wife died.
His wife died because he had a big ass dick. Pause.
Do you need to pause?
No, but still. I have to keep them guessing.
Joe's the most homophobic person I've ever met. He's a contradiction within himself.
Of course.
Like the Asian and the black, because it's like, you can drive, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't a bad accident though. Because the other person didn't stop at a stop sign.
Who caused that?
The drunk dude who didn't stop at a stop sign. I wound up T-boning him because of that.
That sucks.
Then
Which part of the T were you?
I was the stem. I guess I was the dick of the T.
I was about to say you were the shaft.
Yeah, I was the shaft.
Speaking of that,
the dick of
that would happen
the
if you hit a fucking if you hit one of those electric cars and it's tiny as fuck, it would just make it. Yeah.
You become an I, a lowercase I at that point.
Or a did.
Are you gonna watch that new Shaft when it comes out? So I think it was you who were saying it looked too goofy. I believe
it does look goofy.
It just they're taking away from how Shaft is, and I kind of don't like it. It's like I can understand if you want to make a goofy movie, make a goofy movie, but just don't.
I think they're trying to appeal to the
serious about it. You mean?
I think they're trying to pull in new viewers. I think that's what it is. They're trying to appeal.
So basically, does that mean that Guardians of the Galaxy like ruined movies now? Because everything that's serious is going to be like kind of goofy now too.
But
what's the name was trying to be serious? Batman vs Superman.
You see, DC as a whole don't do comedy, and when they try to do it,
what's the name was alright.
Even in in the comics though.
I was gonna say Shazam was alright.
You talking about the comics?
I like Shazam.
Shazam was alright.
No.
We know a guy who was in Shazam. No. His younger son. That crippled kid was basically Joe, not you.
Another Joe.
They don't know my name like that.
You said your name in the last podcast, Joe.
They don't know me like that, though. Whoa.
Because I remember yelling at you saying, like, there's 1,000,001 Joes. Who's going to know which one you are?
Oh, I saw
the one that's 7 feet.
Netflix sent me a notification on my phone, and I saw Rim, and I was like, whoa, okay. Oh, you don't know that because you're homophobic.
I'm homophobic because I don't know about Netflix stuff. More like because I don't turn on Netflix because Hulu has better anime.
No, it's because you don't know what Rim means. And for all you people who do, you understand why I had to...
I know what it means. I'm just not like reacting the way you want, I guess.
No, it's not. I can see it in your eyeballs. Anyway, we're going to
talking about my balls.
See, that's where the third one opens up.
Why are you talking about my balls?
Because you're supposed to do Fist of the Darkness Flame and you didn't do it.
I mean, I can't. I don't have a Dragad eye. I don't really. And also, that sounds like that's a hassle. My arm is already black. I don't need it to be darker.
Yeah, but what about against Toguro? You don't want to do it against.
Oh, that fucking hurt. That was like listening to this, I'm glad they fixed that in the fucking Venom movie where they didn't say symbiote all the time because the trailer was fucking atrocious. I was like, no, I can't watch this. I can't watch this.
To retract to the other movie that was at hand, I did not like Shazam. It was too damn corny.
You didn't like Shazam flossing on his toes? No?
No, Shazam. No. The Shazam movie in the whole was like, eh.
In the whole.
Like, okay, I'll go see it.
The scaling was really weird, though. But I didn't like the scaling.
Seriously. And then they had my boy playing the bad guy, and I was like, he always plays the good guys in all the movies, and I don't like the fact that he played a villain so damn well. It's like, no, you're supposed to be the good guy. Have you seen? Okay, the best one to put him in will be Kingsman.
I've seen Kingsman, yeah, but like he's that good guy who you first walk into the room and you don't know who's who, and you walk in and you're like, oh, that guy's evil. Like, no, this is the nicest fucking... Because that's what they started doing.
Like, you're a Namekian and you're a bad guy.
Right now, they're subverting tropes. Yeah, word. Fucking racist-ass Midoriya. But no, they're in a time now where they're subverting tropes because when you walk into... Back in the day, it was like TV is as it is. You walk into a room, you see a guy who looks like Joe and maybe has a scar on his face and you're like, that guy's fucking evil. I can tell that motherfucker's gonna like betray us or whatever. Nowadays, they're like, oh, well... We'll make a guy look like that. We'll make a guy look like that, but then now it's like, no, he's the nicest fucking person that you're going to meet anywhere.
He was
because
good
it's interesting. Yeah, he was good. Because if you really look at him, like bald head, he's kind of got the nose for. He looks like he could be a bad guy.
You know who I thought he was when I first saw him in Kingsman? You didn't. I don't know if you watched that fire in Warehouse 13.
Stop hitting tape.
I think that was the first time.
Couple times.
But Warehouse 13, my hands haven't been on the table. Warehouse 13, remember the group that like runs the upper echelon of the warehouses?
Oh, the dude who was part of the 10 Rings in the first Iron Man movie. You talking about the Indian guy?
Was that him? That wasn't. He was too small.
Because they were both. I mean, everybody looks small next to Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges tall as fuck.
I'm the dude, man.
I'm trying to think.
All the Lebowski jokes. Whenever he looked at Thor, he's just like, I went to one side, Lebowski. I was like, oh shit.
I have to look him up. I can't think of what his name was, but I know he knew Pete's mom. He worked with Pete's mom in Warehouse 13 because his mom was she was one of the captains in one of the Star Trek series.
God dang, you jumping around on too many things. My brain is like,
It's happens you don't feed yourself.
I'm giving up.
Gotta eat food.
I had food.
Instead of fasting.
I had food.
For 8 hours
I had a sausage.
every day.
I had a sausage. Ate a sausage.
Shawshank Redemption?
That's what my sister calls. My sister can't say sausage, so she always says Shawshank.
Hey, we know someone who can't say coffee.
Who can't say coffee?
Nadia.
I've never heard her try to say coffee before. What's she say? Coffee?
Exactly, because she can't say.
She has like she puts like an H sound somewhere in there.
Coffee? She said like that. Coffee? Oh, now I gotta.
I'm trying to remember.
Message her on.
I'm trying to remember who told me.
Now I can message her on Facebook. Like, yo,
because somebody kept telling her to say it. I think it was Grippo. Grippo was like, "Yo, listen to her say coffee."
Grippo is the type of dick to do that.
I think it was him. It's been a minute.
Grippo is definitely the type of dickish type of individual to do something like that to somebody.
No personal attacks on the podcast. We can't talk about people directly.
They don't know who he is. The same as his real name.
Yeah.
Alright, Joe, you sit there in one breath talking about how, I don't want nobody to find out about this. You said, I'm not going to talk shit about anybody. You just name people by their fake names that they know.
Yeah,
like,
well,
this motherfucker's sitting here talking about me. You ain't going to get famous off my name, Joe. It's like, goddamn.
First of all, I talk shit about him when he's in the room.
True, very true.
So wait till he's in this room in front of the microphone.
I will call him right now, put him on speakerphone.
He's not going to make it.
And then I will be like, oh, well, hey, you're on this.
No.
You're on this podcast.
We're not doing that on my podcast with this bullshit, because that is the equivalent of someone holding up a fucking... You know those YouTube videos where people are like, oh, watch this thing on my TV, and they record it? I fucking hate that. Where they're like holding their phone up to the TV and they're like, yeah, look at that. And it's just like, no, stop it. Just thought, no.
Well, what if they get the good angle? No? Still no? It's a no for you, dog?
Nah, man, it's a no for me, dog. That shit is annoying.
No, I agree, because it's just bad camera shit.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that thing we talked before we forget about that. That thing that we said with Eric. Hellboy. You know about Hellboy? You know, did you watch the movie?
No.
Okay, well, Hellboy is an
Well, you
isekai.
talking about one or two?
Both, technically.
Oh yeah, I had said that to him. He was like, "Oh,
Hellboy is an isekai." We all said that.
I said it first.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you want to ask? We'll go and ask him.
Eric's not gonna remember.
I was gonna say Tico Brohe.
You think really? The dude who couldn't remember most of the movie because he was sitting there high. He was like, "Wow, man."
That was after the movie, though.
Crazy, though. That was even after the movie. He was still done. He woke up the next day. I talked to him the next day. He was like, "I'm like, do you remember anything about last night?" He was like, "I remember walking up to the door and thinking, shit, I don't have my key." I'm sitting there like, "So you missed everything? Like every interaction we had with you since I got to your house, we picked up Carl, saw the movie, and even the conversation afterwards." He's like, "Yeah, pretty much." I'm like,
Relax him.
damn. God damn.
But what about
Also a weird word like that? He's not gonna remember that fucking word.
So what about the movie then?
Because I remember after I said it, you said we were going to name the
Isekai.
podcast that.
Is Hellboy? No, podcast episode that.
See?
And that could be this one. Hellboy is an isekai. Hellboy is a character that comes from another dimension to this dimension, does stupid, crazy hijinks and shenanigans. Hellboy is an isekai. Just like anime. Joe. Joe.
I don't think so.
What do you mean I don't think so?
Nah.
What are the qualifications for an isekai? Character has to come from one world and go to another and do stuff. Hellboy came from another dimension to this dimension to do stuff.
Nah.
So is this your brain rejecting it because you're like, no? You're combining two things from across my life that I don't want to know? Almost like when people say, like, oh, you know, Jesus is a zombie, right? It's like, get out of my house. Fucking.
No one can refute the fact that Jesus was a zombie. I'm sorry.
I don't like thinking it because I'm like somewhat Christian, but I'm like at the same time I'm like I just don't like thinking about it because I'm like because I can't like
somewhat Christian. All right.
I don't go to church, but I like still know about the Bible and stuff.
Somewhat Christian.
Somewhat.
Were you baptized?
Yes.
See, he reads the redacted version.
Redacted version. Pretty much everyone uses the redacted version. You think King James knew what the fuck he was talking about? You don't know shit. He just
baptized in the river. Oh, I went Good Charlotte real quick on that one.
Good Charlotte.
Yeah, it's a band. You never heard of it?
I've heard of Good Charlotte, but I didn't know that was a song.
Really? After this, I'll play it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I want to be delivered in the city with the sinner.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
You brought it on yourself.
I am not the one who made him sing it. Was that like a... Was that Blackbeard singing something?
Blackbeard? Why you always gotta sound Blackbeard?
I didn't say...
Why can't I be Whitebeard?
The other...
I wish I was that badass.
There's
I'm not even...
nothing white about you, Joe.
I really wish I was that powerful.
You could be there, Joe.
I know I couldn't.
We were watching that video last night of dude who was like, you can do whatever you want to do.
Start working on it right now. In 10 years, you can beat
C.T.
Thanos.
Fletcher said, and I quote, Joe's the most amazing man I've ever seen in my life. If he just put his mind to it, he could do it.
You about to have this man come up here and whoop my ass for no reason.
Yeah. I'm doing the Jack Nicholson nod right now.
All you gotta do is put a Joe name tag on him when he shows up.
Pull a Fifth Element on him.
I'll be putting my fucking ID on me. I'll be stapling that to my forehead. So have fun with that while I have fun with these puncture wounds.
You just put a sticker on top of that.
You rip it off.
What if it has a really strong adhesive?
Really strong. Where are you getting stickers like that? Really strong adhesive store?
You can get them like that.
Like the adhesive they used to put
Amazon
the stuff
is an amazing
on the windshields.
Man, fuck Jeff Bezos. This fucking trash. Always fucking my shit up.
Internet.
Damn it. What was that I can't even remember what I was talking to you about when I said that. Fucking. That's our. The funny thing is, it's almost like Fairly Odd Parents like predicted that shit.
Seriously.
Because every single time he had something, internet. Where'd you get that? Internet. That's like fucking how it is now. Where'd you get those pants? Internet. Where'd you get these swords, Joe?
Internet.
Dumpster.
Where'd you get that cardigan?
Chris Hemsworth.
If you say internet, I'm gonna lose it. Yo!
Grandma's closet.
Alright, next time.
I got it from Amazon, which is through the internet. I went to the Amazon store, which is on the internet.
Speaking of Isekai, I finished that slime thing. That was pretty good.
Oh, the time I got reincarnated as slime?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Have you watched Goblin Slayer yet?
Yeah, we watched Goblin Slayer like a couple months ago.
Ooh, good.
Goblin Slayer is good.
So, how far are you with Dragon Ball Super then? Go kill yourself.
First episode. If I kill myself, I can't watch it, Joe.
Now are you
Exactly.
further?
You'll have more time to watch it because you'll be dead.
That's true.
I won't have access to like internet or anything.
Frieza was watching stuff.
Frieza was in hell, and hopefully I'm not going there.
See, you'll be in heaven, so you have a much better
internet,
Wi-Fi.
We don't even know if God could be like, yo. God could be that dude who's like, you don't need internet or TV or anything in my house because I'm just that awesome. Just be near me. I could just have nothing.
So that just means you could have it instantly downloaded into your brain.
If he so chooses to.
It's your personal heaven. Haven't you seen American Dad? You go up there.
Why does everything always believe that? Your personal heaven shit. Like
you go up there, you open the door, unicorn comes out, starts shitting out hamburgers.
Supernatural, I don't know if I'd eat those. Supernatural said the same thing. Where you're like, oh, some people who are like extreme lovers or whatever, they're actual soulmates. Like they get their like a heaven together, but for the most part, everybody just has their own.
Well, that started.
Ash is a badass as he can move between them.
That started because of the movie Robin Williams was in. What the hell
Patch
is the
Adams?
name? No, not Patch Adams. It was the one where he
Bicentennial
died
Man?
and he's dealing with the death of his wife and all that stuff. And it's a really good one. It was an older film. He had a beard in it, so you know it was going to be a really touching one. not Good Will Hunting, not that one. I'm gonna find.
Because you said two things that are exactly the same with Good Will Hunting. He had a beard and he was dealing with his wife's death or something.
But he was also dead himself.
We don't know what happened at the end of Good Will Hunting. He could have just I don't want to think about that.
Terrible person.
Robin Williams dying again. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing.
We haven't watched what's the name yet. The last museum.
Oh yeah, there was another one. Because there was Night of the Museum, and then there was the second one, and then the third one was what museum was the third one? Was that like an English museum or something like that? Because the first one was just random museum. The second one was like the Smithsonian, and then the third one was like it was like the natural. No, that was the.
I can't remember. It was some. I thought they were trying to save it or something like that.
We gotta save the museum, guys.
Yeah, we haven't seen the third one yet. Gotta watch that.
Was Rami Malek in it?
I don't know.
I believe so.
Because isn't he like, it's his magic or whatever that's making all the shit happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You said that Queen movie was inaccurate?
Yes, it was. Highly inaccurate.
Like, what specifically, though? I haven't seen it, but I'm like...
So, there is a part where they're saying that they decided to split up because of Freddie Mercury kind of going through, like, mental issues or stuff like that. It wasn't the case. They've just been touring with each other a lot, and if you're touring a lot with somebody, you're going to get really tired of all that stuff, so then you're going to just kind of take a break. And while they were taking a break, he did those albums, and that's all that was. And then the whole scene with him and the executive for Bohemian Rhapsody never happened. That was never a case either.
The funny thing where in the trailer he was like, oh, if you think 11 minutes is long...
Yeah.
That your wife.
That never happened either.
But of course it didn't happen though, because that's too funny for life to actually happen like that. It does sometimes.
I was gonna say it's capable of happening. It's just there were just a lot of things they put in there for.
Because not everybody can be precise and witty and stuff all the time.
Right. Like, the only thing that was like spot on perfect would be the Live Aid concert.
Be more amazing, and we'd have Bentleys and like dragons and shit. I don't know. I know if Carl ever became a millionaire, he'd probably just use money to like resurrect or not even resurrect, because like
no, he'd just be slapping people with money.
No, that too. But on his way to slap, he would be slapping people with money to make dragons.
Be like
I know Carl.
Black Cat.
Which one?
Anime, manga. Didn't that guy want a T-Rex?
That was a chick. She was very stupid.
It was a person. Wanted a T-Rex.
Was very stupid, because I remember she was, don't kill my baby. It's like, that baby just ate everyone in this fucking room. What do you mean don't kill it? It cost me an arm and a leg. It's like, clearly not. It clearly costs a lot of people arms and legs. Like, shit. Oh, my Joe, what are you looking at?
Or Jurassic Park style.
Joe's looking at porn. Yeah,
I think the movie is called What Dreams May Come.
That sounds familiar, but...
Because Cuba Gooding Jr. was in there and all that stuff, too. Back when he was actually doing good films. Or anything.
Yo, Joe is just making enemies. Joe is just creating enemies. There's going to be an army of people lined up at our door. I'm going to open the door. Cuba Gooding Jr., like a bunch of gay people.
You know, wait.
Where the fuck is Joe?
I want Cuba to do more things. It's just they don't.
It's gonna be Endgame. Joe gonna be just sitting there waiting for open the door. Assemble.
but see, that's sitting there with Thor's hammer, like.
But have you noticed that mainly with black actors, when they get a really high award like an Oscar or anything like that, what happens? Their career just dies off. Who are the only ones who ever managed to just stay on top? Outside of Whoopi Goldberg and Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman.
I was thinking of those three, exactly.
Those are the only three.
Whoopi's
and think about it. You have Halle Berry and people. there are so many people who are amazing actors, but once they get the end all be all award for an actor, it's like, okay, we don't want them no more. They got too big.
It's because white people are sitting there like, oh wow, that was a nice ending to that story. All right, let's go.
Exactly.
But they don't need anything. She's got an Oscar. What does she need anything? It's like, no, the actors still need work. We've tricked ourselves into thinking that actors don't need work because it's like, Robert Downey Jr., yeah, he's been in like all these movies throughout 10 years and this and that. He's getting paid like a motherfucker. It's like, that he is, but not every actor gets that.
Well, even with actors like Robert Downey Jr., when it comes down to stuff like that, you have to think about it. If they're not doing work, they're not getting paid. Okay, yeah, because of this movie, they got $20 million. But with their lifestyle, $20 million goes away like that.
I think he has like a windmill house.
So it's not even
a windmill house
where it's powered by the windmill, stuff like that. I mean, it's good to be off the grid and stuff like that.
So he lives in a windmill.
It's like a windmill and it's like attached to it.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll be smart, but even look at someone
like the ones
because I was just watching an interview with Nick Cannon, and he really just kind of put it into more of a perspective for me with dealing with stuff like that, where everyone is going to be in their own realm of how they're used to living, and they gotta do stuff to make sure they can keep it up. Yeah. And if an actor like him, who's used to the lavish life, he's not really going to, I don't know, I'm not going to say I know him, but he's probably not going to want to come down and start living in a house like mine with like 4 other people and be like, I'm happy with this. No.
We're World Avengers.
Joe, you're not happy?
I'm ecstatic for the fact that I'm not on the street.
You want a hug?
I heard telling himself.
Where he's like, yeah, he doesn't want to have to come back here and live in this kind of house with 4 roommates that I hate.
Hit them all!
And then it just gets mad quiet. You're like, Joe,
drink your apple juice.
You want to say something? Shit.
You got something to get off your chest? You got something to get off your chest? Huh?
Nah, the thing that...
But do they eat it?
The thing that really...
But do they eat?
The thing that did that for me, though, was watching the movie, or watching the TV show Entourage.
Yes.
Because you get to see that a
perfect.
lot. Where
That's
you're
a perfect one, yes.
Jumping from role to role, and how, like, of not being able to possibly get another job.
And how scary it is for them.
And then the fact that they live in, like, you living in, like, a $20 million house. The mortgage on that shit is insane, so if you don't keep doing movies, you're going to have to move.
Exactly. But now, on another note, that nothing really touches on with that is the fact that now they have to keep a certain outlook on the public's eye. So you can't be someone who is
touch my feet with
worth
your feet.
playing footsies on the table. Yay.
It's because I'm a center of his universe. Can't help it.
Yo, who the fuck is you? No.
Listen, my boyfriend and I play footsies all the time, so leave me alone. I don't know how to... Okay, there's a snap.
How are you if you can't even snap?
Sorry, smush you all over.
Well, see, I'm bi, so that's why I'm only able to half snap. So
really, you're just gonna claim the middle parts? You don't have to do either. No,
because I'm greedy like that. No, bi lives matter.
Who said it? No, okay.
You'd be surprised. But no, people have to keep a certain outlook. So if you have someone who's like, if you think of Bill Gates being worth like billions of dollars, and he's living on a street like this, which is a very nice street.
His house is gonna get robbed every fucking night.
Right. But it would look weird. Like, why in the hell are you? People will start second guessing it. They have to keep it up.
Your name was Bill Gates, though, accidentally. Like, your name just so happens to be Bill Gates, but you're not that Bill Gates.
Yo, can you imagine a realtor?
Yeah.
Can you imagine a realtor getting like mad, happy, like, oh, Bill Gates is coming to one of my.
Oh my God, Bill Gates!
And then he walks in and he'll be like, who the fuck are you? It's like, I'm Bill Gates. Like, you're not Bill. He shows him like, oh. So yeah, I'm not Microsoft Bill Gates. Like, well, here's the fucking house then.
Guys,
I don't
cancel the parade. Cancel the ponies.
Cancel the marching band.
All the strippers, all that mess.
Would Bill Nye? See, now you're doing it to me. Would Bill Gates
prove that he did it first?
Would Bill Gates even go for strippers? He seems like the nerdy type. Like he wouldn't.
I feel like he's a low key freak. Just how he looks.
Tech people tend to be
exactly. That's
tech
why
people and engineers. I'm finding that out about my own. Yeah,
exactly.
my own career.
You want to tell them about the woman you met while giving out the Uber rides? Is that what you call it nowadays?
First of all, I'm the lift king.
So you be
Second
lifting
of all,
them. You be giving them that lift.
Maybe I do. She was tiny as fuck. And actually, you know what's interesting? Somebody won concert tickets in my car last night.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Did you get half of the concert tickets?
No, I didn't want that fucking concert. Like, she didn't even tell me who the fuck it was. It's probably like A Boogie with a hoodie or some shit. I don't want to.
Oh, who?
A Boogie with the hoodie.
Who in the hell is that? Wait, that's the dude that you're saying that your sister went to
my niece went
or
to that
or your niece went to that concert.
And
okay,
he was looking at her, and I'm sitting there like, she's 15. A Boogie, don't make me find you.
So with this name, I'm guessing he's white.
With a name like A Boogie.
Well, he's trying to be a wigger, I'm assuming.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
90s terms.
I guess we we got weapons, but like fuck. I guess we just starting beef with everybody.
Is he or is he? I don't know who this guy is.
Joe is that friend that like you'll get in like an argument with somebody on the beach, and Joe is just that dude from Atlanta who just hooks off, not even just hook off on somebody, bitch, out of nowhere. Fellas, can we have a nice, polite conversation? We don't have to solve this with violence. We can just, bitch. Next thing you know, you in a fight because Joe wants to hook off on somebody. Like, goddamn,
I'm here to fight. These hands are going to be laid on someone. Someone's catching these
And then we're
palms.
sitting in the living room with fucking ice packs and like tourniquets and shit. And just, that shit got intense. That got out of control, like on some Angry Man shit.
Wait,
like,
so
we wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for you.
So now I'm Ron Burgundy. That escalated quickly.
Do you not want to be Ron Burgundy? I mean, he has his own podcast now. Eventually, you could branch off and get your own podcast.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
That shit was great. If you put it on the helicopter, he will read it.
How could you do it? How could you do it? I didn't know. I just read it.
You just eat poop mouth. Poop. Oh man, that second scene though, in the second movie with the escalated fight, they brought like Kanye West, they brought in like Will Smith in there. That shit was great.
Speaking of Will Smith, how do you feel about that new movie he's doing?
Which one? Jinx. Actually, you said it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I might say he got you on that one. The one where it has
like
old Will Smith fighting new Will Smith.
Gemini Man.
Yeah, that's
what. Fresh Prince versus new old busted versus new hotness.
Exactly.
When Jaden tries to throw that coup.
I was like, wait a minute.
I thought it was at first. Like maybe they were mapping it on his face.
It was just weird.
Your time is over, Dad. My time is eternal.
Okay, Jaden.
He's just so weird now.
Joe, you seen Neo Yokio yet?
No, I have not.
I need to watch it, and I'm gonna make you watch it with me because I'm not doing that to myself alone.
What is it?
It's an anime.
I kind of figured with the name.
I think that's made by Jaden, and it's got like people like Hugh Grant voicing characters and shit.
There's gonna be something with Tyler the Creator in there.
So fucking
it's gonna be
terrible,
so
and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna
ridiculous.
fucking love every second of it. Probably. Also, my two dudes.
Speaking of which, Tyler the Creator. If you ever like want to like hang out and like get a beer, because I feel like you have such awesome conversations. Let's do this.
Tyler the Creator is pretty cool. Loiter Squad
was hilarious. The Art of Lurking is my favorite skit that they did because
where he was sitting on a bench.
Yes.
Some shit like
because it was so ridiculous. Probably like a week before that, I was doing that at college with random people. Just walking up on them and whatnot.
The thing where they had the black cops. They busted up in the house, and it's the balloon man thing. That's like the inflate. He's like, he's cooking up meth. Put your hands up. Put your hands. Wow, 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 wow. That shit was hilarious.
It's so great.
That show is so stupid.
I would love to meet Tyler the Creator. Jackie Chan, you're my idol forever and always. I will kiss your feet.
Joe, this is not your podcast to... What the fuck? This is not your podcast to just be like, famous people love me.
Why not?
That's the point of all podcasts.
We get to that point later.
No, I want to put it out there early on so that the fans of it would be like, you gotta do it. He loves you so much.
We're establishing everything we love right now? Is that what we're doing? We're putting it out on
Gundam.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah. I think every other season of Gundam is stupid because as an engineer, I'm looking at a fucking Gundam and I'm thinking, yeah, the best way to control that? Maybe capture instead of fucking flipping buttons and pulling levers and shit.
But then you
That's just me, though.
See, I'm just waiting for someone to be like, but when people fly planes, they don't do like this. They do like this.
Because it's a fucking plane. It does two functions. It ascends and descends. It's not fucking LCU. Gundam has arms that move like regular arms.
Okay. So
Now
would you?
You see how I'm moving my arms in all the different ways? How the fuck are you doing that with a lever?
The Once Pacific Rim then? For how they have it all set up, you're in there and you're walking.
Literally capture. They literally took that from G Gundam. The only thing I don't want from that is the fact that you have to have two pilots in the thing. I thought that was dumb.
Well, alright, I think...
Well, theirs are bigger than Gundams, though. That's
and
why.
it's also like the whole mental strain or whatever, moving something that big. Like, I get it. I get why you have two. I just think it's stupid.
I just think
it's reasonable.
No, so you talking about me. You're talking about me over here starting beef or whatnot. Look at you. We're talking about stuff that we love, and you just going off stuff that you just hate.
I talked about something I love, and I talked about how it's better than everything else by shitting on everything else. Joe, what do you... I mean, that's how you love things. You separate them from everything else by saying everything beyond this line is unacceptable, and this thing is the thing I love.
But you can appreciate everything else for what it is, though. No, you can't. I mean, it's just like
my only thing is
me. I'm an ass man, but I would greatly appreciate a woman's nice titties.
Now you're getting into different territories where you're like, I was raised on titties because like, who doesn't drink the breast milk? Some kids who their moms have failure titties because they can't produce breast milk.
You see, this is why I say you can never have like a platinum gay or anything like that because
platinum gay
because they say they've done nothing with the woman ever, and I'm like, well, technically, you used to suck on titties.
Mean? Platinum. You guys have like rankings
for like ones who
adamantite level gay.
It's a stand.
It's the ones who have never done anything with a woman, like you never kissed a woman or anything like that. But I was like,
came out of a vagina though, so like,
stand.
Okay, I can't. But
you can't have joy from that because you're a baby.
Exactly. Or some of them might have been through C-section, which means they came through the gullet. You
were still in one though.
No, you weren't. It's a totally different thing.
I mean,
okay, technically, I guess you were in one because your daddy kind of you inside of one, but I mean,
you had to touch it something. That's all I'm saying.
But I mean, everyone sucked on some titties at some point, so you can't say you never did anything.
Some people didn't, because like I said, failure tits.
I mean, are you
Which
talking
isn't
about
like a failure thing?
Are you talking about the people who were mean enough to get rid of their child at birth and put it up for adoption?
No, literally, I'm just talking about like there are some women who have problems producing milk.
There's also preemies. They have to stay in the what's the name?
They have to give them like a special
But once they come out of that, I mean, they're still the mother's still able to breastfeed. They
can, but they don't always do.
They usually don't because they have to give. Don't they have to give them the formula because you can't just stick the mom's boob in?
Well, no, they pump the milk out of the mother, and the ones who would do that, but some of them, yes, they do the formula.
But some of them still don't like produce milk though. It sucks.
Well, the ones who don't do that, you can have some wet nurse.
Or just have enough babies cry around you until you start lactating. So I don't. Let's start off by saying I don't know. Wow, Joe. I don't know what the fuck. I only know what I know from other people.
Until you get a camera in here to record things, I'm going to do all this stupid.
See, I want to record it in a certain way because now Carl has put it in my head, and now nothing else is going to be as good as that, which is a certain way that we'll talk about later because I don't want another podcast stealing our shit. But I mean, they lift the fucking government's just lifting ideas from my mind.
Right. That's how they do.
It's in the hot sauce. There's an anime called Hoshin Engi, literally stolen from my mind as a child. Made by I think the Fullmetal Alchemist lady, Inoue something. I don't know. I'm sorry for butchering your name, lady. I love Fullmetal Alchemist. You fucking rock. You did it. You won.
Happy birthday from all of us to you.
And actually, speaking of tits, somebody was actually pointing out how Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the only anime that's actually like pretty decent with respect to like the proportions of boobs and respecting like
outside of 3 people.
Outside of typically just lust. But that was because
Winry, and I guess you could kind of put Teacher in there. But then you have, Armstrong with his big ass tits.
Was Westner respectful? I'm not sure. Shin-Chan.
No, they talk about tits and cooters.
Talking about the proportion. Why are you saying proportion?
Shin-Chan, they're all small, but I mean they talk about them, but they're not a lot of fan service.
Disrespectful with respect to how they talk about
them. But he was saying proportion. He was saying proportion wise. That's why I was curious.
But I mean, Dragon Ball Z doesn't have a proportion issue with that either.
They're really a lot. I mean, when I think about Dragon Ball Z, I don't think about like really any women other than Bulma and like Chi-Chi. I don't really.
But
there's not to say that there aren't other women. I'm just like that's it's not a thing 18. That people think about when they go to it.
But yeah, but I'm saying, but if you're looking at it,
18 people were like.
I think now, but if you go back to when she was first introduced, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Even with like the new
Videl.
Yeah, Videl.
Vigellin.
I'm mixing up so many things right now. Magellan. That's a broken character right there for somebody.
Magellan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you said Magellan, I was still thinking about your movie earlier, which is like, fucking Magellan. Like, but you're a psychic. Couldn't you talk to him? He's dead.
Right.
I think.
Like, I'm psychic. I'm not a ghost whisperer.
Who in history is sitting in their fucking caves right now like fucking Madara waiting to take over the new world? Who from our history is like that?
Genghis Khan.
You think Genghis Khan is sitting in a fucking cave right now?
Him and Alexander the Great are like, we're waiting for our time.
I mean, he could pull a what's the name? You watch Doctor Who?
No.
You watch Doctor Who?
I mean,
there was
white women have like forced me to watch.
There was this one season where they sent like
you heard that, white women?
They sent something into outer space, and some aliens got it, and it had
I don't like white women.
It had I think it had A-type blood in it. And basically, the aliens did something with it, and it allowed them to control people with A-type blood. So maybe he's going to do that with all his descendants. He has mad descendants.
That is true. He has anyone. So
literally, he can be like, "Yo, let's roll up on who? Everybody."
Isn't it like 1 in 9 people has it? No, it's like 3 in 10 or something like that.
It's a very high rate that a lot of people that over near like Mongolia and China and all that stuff. It's probably half the population. You might as well say half the population.
Half the population there, which means like 3% or 30% of the population.
So he could be like, yo, we're going to war. Where's your army? You snap his fingers and all his descendants just stand up.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
So he could do it.
He would have actually. They said that he would have taken over the world had it not been for. And they're talking like Europeans like, oh no, I want to take. No, he would have fucked y'all up too.
Yeah.
It's just that they have this rule with his specific culture where a man has to earn the kingdom that he has. So when Genghis Khan died, or when his father died, he got the kingdom. It shrunk back down to one area, and then he had to fucking retake it.
Yeah. Kublai had to.
Because fuck, he would imagine if you had started already owning like fucking as far as like I don't know how far it was that his father owned, but like. Imagine if you already
he got to where Russia started, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
he practically had all of Asia,
and with that expansion on top of what his father did, he would have had like all of Europe, pretty much.
Definitely. The only thing is,
most of Western
he would have had a hard one when it came down to Russia.
Yeah,
because
the winters and all that shit, natural barriers. And
it's just really hard for them, especially with the way they were coming from. Because on that aspect, it's it's uncharted terrain that's out there.
But I feel like once you have the rest of Europe, and then you're just like everyone turned to Russia, and then it's just like ooh.
Well, then you have the Great Wall of Russia.
The Great Wall. I love it. People talking about the Great Wall of China, and they're like, "Oh yeah, see, walls work." And stuff. They're like Trumpers are doing that, and then people are like, they're posting the pictures of who are like the Huns and stuff. And they're like,
"Did you not watch Mulan?"
Word.
Seriously,
they just climbed it. Like
I was like, yeah, the wall didn't really. It was a quick fix, but it was about to get fucked up. They broke through what, twice, I believe.
There's like a buttload of the. I remember watching it as a kid in school. There are a buttload of parts of the wall that aren't even as like the well built parts are the ones that we know about.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of parts of the wall that are just literally like stacked of like they're like mud and hay that was stacked to a certain height to like just continue the wall. Just to make sure it was a fucking wall and had no gaps in it. Mm-hmm. Because there's only so much you can do when you're out in the middle of nowhere or you're near someone's farm and they're like, hey, we're going to keep building the wall through this area. It's like, okay, but what are we building it out of? Like, I'll throw my cow in there. I'll throw this Titan in there. Like, fucking, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I think they've gotten through the wall at least twice before.
Joe, what's in your basement? Yeah, Wall Maria and Wall Rose.
What do you mean? There's nothing in my basement.
You sure? There's not any weird like Titan stuff in your basement?
No.
No?
If there was, I should be taking over some banks and getting money right now.
So I have a key to Joe's basement, so that means I have to make it back too. So I can open the basement and see what's in there so I can sell it.
Yeah,
I have the Beast Titan down there just waiting to go.
I remember I was confused about that because who was I talking to? I was talking to someone about Attack on Titan, and I thought that like his house wasn't as fire. Huh?
Season 3 Part 2, yeah, is coming up soon.
No, I was talking about in Season 1.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize how fire his house was. To like the inside, and I was like, wait, didn't that dude pick Eren and the girl up and run with them? I'm like, how did he get that fire in like 3 seconds? Like, it was like 30 seconds.
He's literally the fastest Titan, though, is he not? The armored one?
No, I'm talking about the guy. Remember when Eren's mom had got chopped? Remember the one dude who was
you're talking about the guy who he knew who was
remember he picked both of them up and then ran with them, and I'm like, okay, he was in front of the house.
He could have been like pooping CO2 the whole time because I
thought he was on foot the whole time though when he was running with Eren and what's name. I thought he was on foot.
You can still push that out because there have been people who started from like a running start and just and then shot the things and then started to swing.
Don't you need to control them with your hands? So he was carrying them.
I don't think you. How do you control that?
To shoot the things, I think you need to like hit a lever to shoot the things out.
Because I've seen the 3D. Because typically when they show the 3D gear, they might show like the straps and belts, and then they'll show the thing on their butt. But they don't really.
But they usually have. They have like those little like
it's
things
the hooks. Yeah,
it's weapons. Are they not?
Well, it's also what's controlling them. It's the
thing on the the levers. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He
could have been holding the kids and going like, eh. I guess I don't fucking know. Like it's weird
because he was literally like 10 feet from the house.
He still got chopped. He still had the
things
weapons in his hand though.
Yeah. Because you can take
the way they showed him, running on foot though. Until he got to that wall, and he put him in that like carriage or whatever.
He could have been pooping CO2. Could have been.
I don't
between jumps like.
I don't think that was the case. I think he was just.
He
wasn't
like
that far.
Super adrenaline. See, his house isn't like in the middle. His house is like he can.
But yeah, when they were talking about, we got to travel back to the house. I'm like, but he got from there to there. In like 5 minutes.
Because they're talking about they got to go from like the middle wall to the front wall and then into that town into his house. Wasn't it? Wasn't that what they were saying from?
I don't remember.
They were like, we got to get to because that was when they brought out Annie when they were at the end of the first season when they were trying to trap Annie, the female Titan.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. Wasn't that what they were doing? They were going back to Eren's. And that's what they told everybody, but they were trying to catch whoever's. Yeah, because even back then they knew.
Like, it was just weird because I remember they showed like a top down view of how the gaps are. I'm like, the spaces are mad big, and I'm like, how did he run with them from there to that wall? Put them in the thing so that they could like go through the wall. And like, how did he run that far with both of them? Because he was in front of the house,
bruh. When you have the possibility of like getting chomped on by some big ass motherfucker with a human face. And some of them look weird as fuck and move.
I want to talk about that in particular Titan so badly, but I can't because I don't think either of you read the manga.
I don't give a shit about the manga, but you can spoil whatever the fuck you want here. I don't care.
So you want
what's in the basement, Joe?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So what's funny is with that Titan that ate his mother was his dad's first wife. Funny, right? She specifically went for her.
What was it like the opposite of like Honey, I Shrunk You?
No. So it's a whole nother country where they have the Titan. So when you have the Beast Titan, Armor Titan, and all that stuff.
They're too organized to
They're in the midst of a war.
Just coming out of nowhere, like fucking.
They're in the midst of a war, and that's them sending those things over to beat them. That's why there's no genitalia on it and all that shit.
So it's the equivalent of like, remember in Merlin, whenever something would happen, like every week, fucking Arthur and then would be like, fucking open the castle. All the people have to come into the castle because you're all in danger, whatever, blah blah. So I guess that's what that is, only on the scale of like, this is the entire country. This is Ba Sing Se where we are. It's basically Ba Sing Se, is it not?
Yeah, and they're trying to break it down so they can get in and kill them all.
All the people from the entire country had to make it into there, and then that's why they're all... And then they cut down even more walls, and they're like even more packed in, which is why they were like, hey, Armin, you're dead.
Yep. See, now the thing is that they did turn them into those Titans, but they're still inside. Like you see with the other ones, they're by the neck or whatever. That's why it's the weak point, and that's when they're cutting them. They're actually, that's where they're killing them.
So every single Titan is actually a person?
Yes. Every Titan is a person. Which is why when you saw is
that why they eat and then throw up? Because they can't just... why do they eat people? Why can't they just like...
Well, that's just them killing them. Like, I'm gonna eat you.
It's a very weird way.
Yeah, they gotta put the fear of them.
I would just punch him or like step on him or something.
Well, some want to do that, but I think there's something I can't remember. Because again, the manga just got
for this shit. We're gonna have to like.
Yeah, seriously, they put up a lot of scientific shit in there that I kind of just like
hey,
this is stupid.
We're gonna turn this country into a philosopher's stone. Let's eat all these people.
That's what I thought the fucking walls were, because they were like, oh, look at that, fucking perfectly whatever.
But anyone who is a special Titan, like the Beast Titan and
Armored Titan, the Skinless Titan.
Well, are you talking about the Colossal Titan?
Yeah, I'm skinless.
When you are one of those, you have 7 years to live because you're going to die regardless.
Really?
You have once you get that power to become that, you have 7 years, and then you're just going to die.
Okay, so we'll definitely have to put like major spoiler thing on this and be like, do not watch from this point to this point if you don't want to be spoiled on Attack on Titan, because I don't really care. I'll still watch it and read and everything. I don't give a fuck if you tell me what, as long as it's like certain things. Like if you spoil Endgame or something like on that level, I'll still watch it, but I'll be upset because like I was ready to beat the fuck out of one of his coworkers. Well,
you see,
because he walked in and just told this motherfucker something that happened. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck are you? He told me that dude just walking around work just going like, oh hey, such and such happens in Endgame. Oh yeah, so it's like literally this is the day before Endgame. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, he got punched so hard by me.
I saw him walking outside. Carl already texted me that the dude did that, and I was like, you want me to go fuck him up? I will fucking do that shit.
Yeah, you don't, and
bruh, that was ridiculous. And then there were so many reasons I was ready to fuck somebody up for Endgame, because we were in the movie theater and we were sitting in line.
Oh yeah, he was about to cause a ruckus.
This motherfucker walks to the front of the fucking line.
He's about to slide somebody in front of their dad.
Who the fuck are you to walk to the front of the line? If it wasn't for the movie attendant that was there who was dressed like fucking Captain Marvel, then I would have probably got in a fight with that guy. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Props to the now the other kid though that snuck in with us, I have respect for him. He sat there, he talked, he kind of like sort of was peripheral to our jokes. I didn't even fucking it was almost like me and Steve last night. Remember when I was laying on the couch, Steve didn't even notice me there. Mm-hmm. Fucking he was like just there barely enough so that like,
so he pulled a Drax
pretty much, and he like laughed at some of our jokes and we were like, oh. Like Arno, like that guy was high as fuck, and I was like, I respect it, dude. He snuck his way into the line and he did good. He wasn't a dick about it either. It was just him. It wasn't him like bringing multiple people up to.
So what was the other dude that was doing? He was
the other dude cut to the very front of the fucking line, all the way to the front. It's like, no, fuck you. I don't give a shit if you know the first person in line. You don't cut to the very front of the fucking line. Because back when it was us, when we first, that kid has been with us since we got in line, or at least a little bit before the line started getting like dumb crazy behind us. Mm-hmm. So he cut like us and like 2 people, and it was just him though. I didn't have a problem with that because I'm like, whatever. He seems alright, and it was one person. but an entire group can fuck up like how you sit.
It's about to be so racist. It was a white dude who did it, wasn't it?
Of course it was. Now let me explain this for the white people who are listening right now.
All three of them.
I know, right? We are in no way racist, but at the end of the, or we might be, I don't know. But at the end of the day, when we say that white people do certain things or white people do that, it ends up being a thing where it's like, sometimes there's certain attitudes that y'all have towards things that we're like only white, or it's not that only white people think like that, but y'all excel at that shit. Y'all are really good at thinking like that. And you're like, oh well, fuck this person. I'm just gonna cut in line and get in the front because who's gonna stop me?
Kind of like this woman that was at my job. That's kind of like the woman that was at my job. I was talking about with the bathroom. Yeah, clean. First time I ever out loud got real ghetto. I was like, yo, this fucking bitch here, and I said it to her face and went off. And somehow I didn't get fired.
How the fuck? Word. I was gonna say like, how the fuck you?
Like, because he's a real boss.
Because
is your boss afraid to fire you?
No, he's a friend of mine, but two, I feel like he will fire me just because.
You said he would fire you just because? Oh shit. What kind of friendship is that?
He's the best guy.
I was just about to say,
if I was working for him, he'd probably fire me.
Right. Just because
See,
it'd be like,
you're
coming into work tomorrow, right?
Transfer you.
Oh, because he saw that fucking TV show, so now he's got this fucking idea. There's this anime where this kid, I get some bullshit of like, I'm trying to think of the classic story because you know how every story is basically like, oh, it's fucking Hamlet, or oh, it's fucking. It's basically dude is born into a family, but he's like his mom is not the like royalty, or she wasn't chosen by the family, or so he's like
the mistress.
Word, and he like doesn't really have a claim to the family, even though he kind of does because his dad is still the guy. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where it's like literally, he's fucking working his way up because he's like he still has decent skills and abilities and stuff, and he can do what he needs to do to work up in this company. And one of his brothers got demoted by another brother because he was like, oh. You were using him to try to get whatever, and he didn't care about the kid. He's just like, well, I know you were using him in this, that, and third, but also you did a thing that pissed me off. So now you are not getting not promoted, but or demoted, but you're getting moved to like our fucking composting in fucking Alaska or some shit. He's like, oh no, shit, fuck, and he's like throwing shit around his office and stuff after he hangs out with his brother. It's like, yeah. So now once Carl's seen that, now Carl knows how to be the specific type of asshole-ish like business guy doing just like pure scumbag tactics to win, and I don't like it. I should have the second I saw him, the second I knew what the synopsis of that show was, I should have just yanked his fucking computer out of the fucking ball. Just be like, no, he can't know this. There's some things I keep from Carl just so that the human race can just safely continue.
So kind of like with Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and
Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. You say Yu-Gi-Oh?
Say Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh.
It's on the tape. Listen, read it back. On Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, when they were talking about Tristan not knowing what sex is, so he can't make babies because they made him really stupid.
Are you talking about the Abridged?
Burn the rich. You know that?
Yeah, that was the Abridged.
Yeah, that's what I said in the Abridged one.
That's hilarious.
And it was like, no, he can't know about it. It's like, you're right. That was a close one.
Yo, I got to show you One Piece of Bridge.
I saw some of it, and
dude, come on, it's good.
Maybe if they do something with Afro Luffy,
he hasn't gotten that far yet.
Well, then
he makes like one video a fucking year or some shit like that.
See, why are people like, trying to get on the whole Hellsing swag? No,
he's been doing it way before Hellsing.
Who the fuck?
I don't know.
That's probably somebody you offended.
Is this where we end the podcast? So we have to fight to the death to try to defend this house?
Oh, they're fucking with the garbage cans. So
y'all
trash to begin with.
Oh shit. Fucking garbage cans because you were broke, nigga.
Trash ass motherfucker.
So proclaimed by your mouth.
Spike pussy trash too. Anyway, there's mainly women.
Joe, who are you talking about now?
the woman whoever gave birth to that child that's next door.
So you should have said she know who she is. Be like, yo, child next door.
You can keep ringing the fucking doorbell and running away like I don't know it's her.
That's why you set up booby traps.
I'm about to put a fucking iron to the damn thing and let her burn herself. Or put a car battery on there.
I thought you were gonna like catch yourself because like you're being recorded by now, but let me remind you, you're being recorded right now.
I know,
and this is going to go up. And I'm pretty sure even threatening against a child or some shit like you go, big as you are, they're gonna just come in here and be like, nah, we're not bringing him to jail. Just say for this shit. That's fucked up. I get it too, Joe. I get it too. I am just at that level of bigness where they're just like, no, yeah, probably. Just do it.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
I'm not restraining that.
They'll probably have like dragon breaths.
Knock on wood. Just fuck that.
Well, see, we're good though. We'll just have Steve or Sarah answer the door. They're white.
I don't. Sarah's nice to me though. I don't want to sacrifice Sarah.
For now.
Definitely.
Well, if she answers the door, they'll be like, stand down, stand down.
Deterrence? Oh.
She's not black.
All those secretly, man.
Don't shoot, he's not black. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing with that one.
That's fun. That is honestly like the like my favorite white friends are the ones that are like that like block me from shit. Like what happened with Eddie. Where like my car got fucked up and he was like, oh yeah, my parents have like AAA, like fucking 1,000 miles that we can get towed in like a year, and the year's almost over, so fucking I don't give a shit. He towed my car from from the school all the way across town to the cheapest place that I could go to get my tire fixed. Just cause. Or other friends who like Winter Soldier yell at a cop for me, but then again, Winter Soldier and me, it's hard for me to explain to him how cops. Like he understands how it is with cops and black people, but also he's like one of those white kids who like he has trouble with cops too. So it's one of those things where he's like, no, I'm the one person you can't talk to about that because like if a cop sees me and you, they're coming for me. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, you're right. They would definitely go for him because they know him by name. I'm just a random unnamed black guy. They're like, okay, but that's a known threat.
See, me and cops, we get along, but we don't get along. Only because I used to know.
I know Carl's thinking about it too.
About 80% of the police force. I think at this point now, I only know probably 10% of the police force.
Oh, sure.
But they're all old. They're old ones, though. So they're all about to just retire, and I'm about to be like, well, fuck.
Now I'm in danger.
Walking around at 2 o'clock in the
morning. But now, if I go out to Gates, I'm good because I know damn near all of them because I used to work at a coffee shop.
You just set a location.
Again, but there's multiple gates.
Word. There's a gate in the driveway.
Well, no, because I've actually looked up to see how many places are named this. There's
Is that
10.
what you were doing on your phone earlier? You said 10?
There's 10.
God damn, that's not a lot, Joe. There's a lot of places in this world, but 10?
But 1 out of 10, they don't, again, they're going to what?
They're
Toss
gonna
a dart up?
Silent Bob it, dude. 10 places is within someone's budget if they're angry enough.
They're so spread out. It's not like there's 10 within this state. It's 10 within the country.
Which state is that, Joe?
Ohio. Oh, what? Fuck you.
Oh, Joe. Come on, dude.
Really? You just gotta... I hate you right
Hell
now.
the fuck yes I am. So they don't know who the fuck we are. No, I'm saying...
Well, now they do.
They already do. They know the true location, though. No, but the funny thing is, I remember telling Carl this. My mom, we were driving away from Olive Garden to go to Moe's because my sister stuff, and we're not getting that. But we didn't end up eating at Olive Garden, so we went to Moe's. And as I'm pulling out,
now, sorry.
I know, right?
Field trip.
Making myself hungry. We might have to. After I pulled off, I didn't cut off the cop, but he was moving dumb fast. He had to be going at least 60, and I thought he was going slower than that because of the speed limit. But he's also a cop, so he can go whatever speed limit he fucking wants. So I am the speed limit. Right. So literally,
Oh, they're coming for us.
Oh shit! I started talking about it. He's like, "We got somebody spilling the beans." It's like, how do you even know? My computer's not connected to the internet right now. I was like, we know. No, but
told you all the pops are bugged.
I know, right?
We don't
All your Funko Pops are bugged.
Everything.
Roshi's turtle shell is just hollow.
So
microphone in it.
nice.
That's why I keep knocking it. Break it hollow.
Chelsea's still down.
Trying to break all my pops.
It's not Chelsea right there? Behind
there?
Nope, over.
Yeah, Chelsea's knocked over.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Poir.
Nope, Chelsea.
Poir's funny. But no, yeah, so this cop pulls me over. He's like, "Oh, you cut me off this, that, and third. Blah, blah, this, that, and third, blah, blah, talking to me and this, that, and third." But then he turns around and he's looking at my mom's car because we were in two different cars. And we're here. Mom is in the parking lot of another business just looking at us. And Joe, when I tell you that, like, the only reason I could withstand the spiritual pressure is because it wasn't aimed at me, I looked in her eyes, and literally it was, like, dark as fuck, but somehow it was still, like, that anime thing of, like, person's wearing glasses, and the glasses are just, like, there's a glare in them. I'm just like, how the fuck? And he just looks at her, and then he looks back at me. He's like, "Do you know that person?" I'm like, "Yes, that's my mom." And he's just like, All right, well, just be careful, okay? He tried to still sound kind of stern, but he was kind of like walking away, like his tail between his legs, like
Punk
he knew.
bitch.
Word, exactly. he knew he couldn't do it because, like, my mom is sitting right the fuck there. What are you gonna do? The mom's from the Bronx too, so she's so like.
See, I have two, well, I guess really three instances with cops where I'd say it's a bad one. One's a racist one. Two of them are like I legitimately argued with them. One was when I got a speeding ticket from a state trooper, and the whole situation was someone spotted them, slammed on their brakes so they wouldn't get caught by him, which caused me to almost rear end them, which means I had to speed up and go around him, because if I had hit my brakes, I would have caused an accident and probably would have had a big old pileup come from that. So what do I choose? Speed up and go around. Avoid all the accidents. And then at that point, it was going to turn into it was a 45 at that point, and then it was going to turn into a 65 once I got around the bend. So I stayed at...
is that... Oh, yeah.
So I stayed at 60.
Off the bridge, right?
Yeah. So I stayed at 60 just because, and then he pulls me over. And asked me why I did it, and I, being the hothead at the time that I was, and I said, probably because... right?
I'm just picturing Joe as like Natsu and fucking Edelas. He's just in the car like talking shit like, who the fuck wants to know? Like,
and I told him,
he's like, who the fuck are you?
you don't ask me that type of question. And I told him, it's like, probably because you didn't see the fact that the guy in front of me was speeding, saw you slammed on the brakes, and I had to dodge all that stuff. And he's like, well, I only saw you speeding.
Of course you only saw me speeding because that's all you were looking for.
Right. And then lied on the ticket saying I was going 69 in a 45, which would really...
I had a cop pull me over while I was doing a lift that said I was going 47 in a 30. I was like, Negro, how? There's not enough space between where you were sitting and where I was for me to even get to that speed from the fucking red light I was sitting at. How?
Exactly.
I'm not driving a Ferrari. I can't go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. How?
Exactly. So it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Ferrari's probably better than that too. I don't actually know like if that's how. I mean, I'm done with cars. I don't fucking know.
But I know a few other. You know what? The officer's name. Should I put the officer's name?
No, don't do that. We're not. No.
It's off of a villain in a Marvel universe.
We still shouldn't though. That's direct. There's a difference between making enemies that can't get to you and enemies who have connections. This is an enemy that has connections. Do you remember when I told you about my friend Big Mike and my friend Nick? Did I ever tell you about them?
Nope.
Big Mike made a character that broke Nick's campaign. So Nick tried to make a character to break Big Mike's campaign. It was the Naruto campaign. I know I told you about that at least. Because we put it on top of the game Paragon, basically. And essentially, the way that Nick saw fit to try to break his character, instead of doing it like Big Mike and just making it good, he gave himself a buttload of weaknesses so that he could get more strengths, right? because it's in this game system. You give a weakness like I don't know what lecherous, which is a -1, or it's a you get 1 there, which means that you have an extra 1 that you can get like as a strength. So he had so many freaking weaknesses that he was functionally basically retarded. He was lecherous as fuck, so he had all this power, but he had to do exactly what the one female in our party had, like anything she told him to do, he's gonna do it. Because he's like putty in her hands. But the worst thing, the absolute worst thing, was he chose a level weakness called enemy, which is basically like the good version of it would be money. So it's like, you know, you can have varying levels of money. You can have varying levels of assholes who don't like you. So when it comes to having a higher number in enemy, you could be anywhere from the guy at your bodega doesn't like you to God just shits on you at random times that he wants to. And Joe, I'm telling you, if you put his name out there, that cop is at least a 3. He's got connections. Don't do that to us. See, don't be Big Mike.
I have higher connections than he does, though.
Huh?
I have higher connections than he does.
Probably, but let's not make this a dick measuring contest.
I won't do this on here
just don't
because
slap. We don't need to hear it slap.
Because I already won that battle.
Oh shit!
You know your name.
Oh shit!
But yeah, no, I talked to a few of his higher ups about it, and found out that he has a history of the whole thing.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
because when you're a cop, what the fuck is it like?
Right? Who cares? So then when I got in front of the judge, I argued with him, and I was like, "What were you doing at the time? Because when I saw you, I saw a light on your face. Were you looking at your phone? Did you hear like tire screech? You were like, huh? What did the speedometer read? What was it? Because it wasn't no 69, which is what you put on here. Because I told you how fast I was going. Did you not agree with that when we were there? The whole time he just stammering, and then the judge was like, "All right, I heard enough. It's
dismissed."
Yeah, so I got it dismissed immediately. So
most of your tickets get dismissed if you just fucking show up in court.
Some of the times, it depends on what. With me, on the ticket saying I was doing 69 and 45, yeah. I would lose that because of how much faster it is. How much faster,
yeah. But most of them, like parking tickets, are just like, if it's not like a speeding ticket, it's like a moving violation instead of a speeding ticket. Most of them are like, if you just show up. They're not counting on people showing up.
Yeah, and because the cops generally won't. If the cop doesn't show up, because they think that the person isn't going to show up either. Because why am I going to waste my day doing that?
They basically just throw the fucking ball towards the hoop, and they're like, "Yeah, I got it."
Yeah, exactly.
They're not counting on exactly. They're not counting on you. Like,
But what's crazy is the fact there were 15 other people who were there because of him that was along the same lines. And it was unfortunate that I went last because...
So how many people lost to that shit because...
Exactly.
God damn. Yeah, dude, cops, I don't know. Some cops are good. I will definitely say some cops are good. We know some good cops.
Misty Knight.
I mean, real cops. But like...
Well, because, I mean, my father was a cop, and I practically every guy, male in my family is a police officer wherever they're at.
That's dope.
So, and the former police chief is actually my uncle and stuff like that.
Joe, you're a blue blood.
So I have a ton of respect for police officers, the good ones.
Do you know Donnie Wahlberg? My niece watches all that shit. It's crazy.
I know some celebrities, but
Marky Mark.
I don't think I
don't call him
know
that.
him.
Yeah, they don't like that.
See, I'm the type of asshole that will call him that just because you don't want me to call you that, and mainly because I don't.
It's like, I don't really care. I'm never gonna meet you again.
Like, I don't really like you like that to begin with. So,
like, Joe, I was gonna give you $5 million because I thought you were cool. Quite honestly, you scare the living shit out of me. but now I'm not doing that.
Are you impersonating Alec Baldwin, impersonating Donald Trump? Or are you trying to impersonate?
I'm impersonating Alec Baldwin, impersonating Donald Trump, impersonating Mark Wahlberg.
I had to make sure because I was like, all right, those voices.
I don't know where that went. I don't know where it went. Is my voice as bad as...
if Alec Baldwin wants to give me $5 million, I will gladly accept that from you.
And if Alec Baldwin wants to give me $5 million from Mark Wahlberg's account, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say no to that either.
You know his mother lives out here, right?
Who?
Baldwin.
Really?
Yep.
Way to even more pinpoint us to a fucking map. God damn it!
They don't know where that is.
They can look. Google, John. Yeah, Google.
It's not on Google.
Someone on the other end of this microphone is sitting there in their fucking house with their fucking news clippings everywhere, the map, and they're sitting there with the Charlie Day?
Fucking They're doing like, a Charlie Day thing.
They're like, yo, I know where they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, she lives out here. Nicolas Cage lives out here.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage lives everywhere, though. He's constantly poor. He's always buying castles and shit.
Yeah, he lives out here.
Bruh.
Jim Carrey has a house out here.
Does he really?
Yep. And it was a house that I was looking at, actually.
You were trying to steal Jim Carrey's house?
Listen, if I could live where the mass live, I want it.
Fucking dare you.
He's gonna roll up on you in a carnage suit.
I will so squat in that house and be like, yes, this is mine now. I've been here for a week. I'm going to stay here for a year. You can live here with me.
It's like, are you hitting on me? It's like, what the hell? He's like, I'm not hearing a no. Fucking Zoidberg.
There's a few other ones that live out here too.
I know Johnny Depp said he might want to.
That was a lie.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was a lie.
Oh.
Because I would have stalked the fuck out of Johnny Depp if he was out here.
Well, now he's definitely not.
Johnny Depp is daddy all day. Hey, if you're ever curious and want to find something out,
this is not your personal. You've turned this. This is the second episode of the podcast. You turned it into a dating service and a bunch of other shit to purpose for yourself.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one, right?
When he come up in the world, he can take you with him.
I'm riding those coattails. I'm riding that flappy freaking cardigan right there. You thought I was going to say something else.
You thought it was just going to be me that was going up on this? I'm taking the whole crew. The whole crew coming with.
Oh, snap.
With me, with my money, yeah. I'm seriously going to buy an entire neighborhood, and we're all going to have our own house.
Going to call it Ujiroville?
Hey. No, it's going to be called the Red Line.
Jiraiya Heights.
It's going to be it's going to be our own Marriage-Wi, wherever.
Do we even know how to spell that?
It's Majoi or something like that. I don't know. I was watching anime the other day, and it was like
because the thing you just said is
Yajirobe.
I don't know how to spell it. I've seen it spelled.
That could be the name of the sauna, Yajirobe.
Word, because when it comes to people scanning and translating the manga and stuff to English, like I sometimes
I was spelling it correct. Mariejois.
You said MAJ, or no, when you were spelling it like for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just reminded me of terrible dub. Remember?
The Soul Eater one.
Yeah.
Black or Rockstar.
Yeah.
That shit's terrible.
Yeah.
That was so great.
Yeah.
That was so great. All right, I think we've been talking for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good place to
one
end
big
it.
one, or are you gonna break it up?
I'll definitely just do one big. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Really, you're just gonna do
bigger is better because Joe.
What? Everybody hates me though. What do you mean?
Who the fuck hates you, Joe?
There are
Says the guy with the fan page.
I said a lot of people.
I know, right? Who the fuck? We'll kill him. We have the means.
See, now the cops are actually going to show up here.
They don't know nothing. As far as they know, I don't even know the names of those people, so it's not attempted murder or what's the other one? Conspiracy to commit a murder or something like that, because I don't know who the fuck these people are. I just know some people need dying.
Marie Joyce.
That's what the computer says it's pronounced. But they don't know.
Computers don't know Latin.
I remember. I just thought of something terrible that you did.
Who, me?
Yeah.
That I did?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Remember you were reading, I don't know if I should say that.
What was I reading?
Yeah, say it. Remember when you were reading Tinder profiles in a robot voice?
Oh, that shit was dope. Let me tell you why I'm the best uncle in the world. I will legit have my nieces on fucking Tinder reading the fucking, like, and I'm like, you see this? Don't be like her. She's a thought.
Don't
be like her.
Way to slut shame there.
Okay, but like when she says I need a baby or I need a daddy, a sugar daddy to pay all my bills and shit, I'm like, no.
You don't know if they're joking. That could be a complete and utter joke. By the way, if I do get famous, I will gladly be your sugar daddy. Just saying. So make me famous, and I'll pay for all your stuff.
You're talking to other people. I thought you were talking to me. I was about to say, like, what the fuck?
If I'm talking to the microphone, what makes you think...
Joe, me and the microphone are both in front of you.
If I'm like this, looking at blue...
Nah, you wasn't all the way like that. You was straight like,
I'm like this. I'm looking at the microphone.
Now you like that.
If I'm caught up on the microphone...
I was sitting there like, Joe, I mean, if you want to pay for shit, you ain't gotta do all that. You just pay for shit for me. I mean, shit.
Firstly, no, if I get famous... You know, which means my audience peoples, y'all need to make him famous.
He's doing that thing that mom does when she like
you need to make him famous so I can get famous so I can be your baby daddy.
Word, thoughts of the world, make us famous.
If she speak.
Do you have the yams? If you have the yams, I got you.
And with that, I think we'll end on Joe saying some crazy shit again.
Why you always gotta end with me saying something weird?
Because what other
That's
way?
That's the thing. That's
what's
the
the best way to leave?
Am I the new then? we gotta have dolls in the background doing some weird stuff.
Oh God, no! And then they every time somebody calls up, they don't acknowledge it. They like there's clearly dolls fucking in the background. Like stop it. All right, guys, it's been real. You can check us out on YouTube. Just search Northstar Otaku or just search it on Google or whatever. Northstar Otaku 11. You can find us there streaming on Twitch or Henshin Hero X. Henshin is spelled weird. I know it's HENSHIN.
So it's
and
how
then
it
Hero
sounds.
X. Yeah, but some people are stupid. They don't know how to sound stuff out.
Our audience is not stupid.
They might be.
They're not.
Everybody's good at different things, Joe, and some people aren't good at spelling. I still want them to find the podcast because I want their money. All right, with that, we'll talk to you later, all right? Have a good one.
Bye.
Peace.